Welcome everyone to O'Loughlin Stadium on the campus of Siena Heights University. It's a beautiful day for football here as the Siena Heights Saints prepare to take on the Indiana Wesleyan Wildcats. I'm Josh Mitchell.
And I'm Michael Ram.
And we welcome you to this epic contest. Weslyan comes into this game ranked number 5 in the nation, only the 7th time that this stadium has hosted a top 5 team. What else is at stake today, Michael?
Well, there is a lot at stake here today, Josh. The Saints will be able to finally maybe make the playoffs if they win today. This will be a big win for them because they have a tough stretch because they have to go to Marion to end the season. So the Saints must win today.
It's true. Depending on the other results in the league, the Saints can end up in a 4-way tie for first place if they win this game. In order for them to win this game, what's going to have to happen, Michael?
Well, there is a lot that's going to have to happen, especially offensively, which in their defense, they have been able to really start getting it going. Against Lawrence Tech last week, Ryan Miner was slinging that rock around. The ground game was working, and the receivers were starting to catch the ball. And I talked to my roommate, starting offensive tackle, Walt Baugman, and he said that the offense is starting to communicate a lot better, and they are a lot more in sync, and the play calling is in rhythm. So I'll be really excited to see how this test goes against the number 5 Indiana Wesleyan.
It's true. They're going to have a tough contest today. We know this Indiana secondary is the best in the nation at taking the ball away. Over 16 picks so far this season. It is a ball-hawking secondary, and it's going to be a real test for Ryan Miner today.
Absolutely. As well as defensively, I forgot to mention that the secondary is going to have their hands full because their quarterback, Xander Stokes, can really sling it around. He threw for 240 yards against Valparaiso, a team that they only lost by 3. And Valparaiso is a Division I opponent. So for Siena, they're going to have to play this game perfectly, force some turnovers, play some very clean football today.
Sure of that. We'll also introduce the third member of our crew today, our sideline reporter, Victoria Hyatt.
Well, Victoria, what do you see here today?
So far, the team's been warming up pretty good. They seem really excited, so hopefully they're able to take the win today.
For sure, thank you.
Yes, it's going to be a massive contest today. What could very well be a historic day here in O'Loughlin Stadium if they're able to pull out the win. We'll be back with the kickoff here momentarily. You're watching Siena Heights Sports Network.
All across the country, people are coming together to speed up what we can learn about health. The All of Us Research Program is calling on 1 million people to join us as we try to change the future of health. For your family, for future generations, for all of us. Visit joinallofus.org and find out how you can become 1 in a million.
Not always easy to see.
D-E-P-R.
Mental illness doesn't show up on a scale.
Bipolar?
Sorting out a mental health concern takes professional diagnosis and treatment.
Anxiety. I thought so.
If you or a loved one has a mental health concern, don't go it alone. For 24-hour free and confidential information and treatment referral, call 1-800-662-HELP. Learn more at samhsa.gov/support.
Hope, where are you hiding? I search for you in the seconds, the minutes of each and every day. Hear me as I call out to you. Take my hand. Lift me up as I lift up others. Welcome me home, Father, Mother, Sister, brother, son, daughter. Hear us now. Alone we stood, divided we fell. No longer. Now we choose to make the connection. Our new mission lies within. Visit maketheconnection.net to learn.
I'm with 2018 lacrosse national champion Christian Gaudy for the FDA's Don't Get Burned Sunscreen Challenge.
Bring it, Daryl.
She's tough, but I won't get burned today. I'm using a broad-spectrum sunscreen.
The FDA recommends broad-spectrum sunscreens with an SPF of 15 or higher with other sun protection measures to reduce the risk of sunburn and skin cancer.
You smoke me, Kristen.
That's because I use sunscreen so I wouldn't get burned by you and the sun.
Broad-spectrum sunscreen. It's a winning play every time.
Hi, I'm E.J. Williams. Each year, millions of animals are abandoned, and more than 1 million are euthanized before they can be rescued. Organizations like American Humane are working to harness the healing power of the human-animal bond, as animals can be trained as life-saving service and therapy dogs to help veterans, the elderly, and children with special needs to overcome the obstacles of everyday life. To find out how you can help give animals...
Welcome, everyone, back to O'Laughlin Stadium on the campus of Siena Heights University. It's a gorgeous day for football as Siena Heights prepares to take on the 5th ranked in the entire nation, the Indiana Wesleyan Wildcats. Sounds like this is going to be a great game, Michael, as we get ready for the teams to be introduced to the field. Give us a little bit about this Siena Heights roster.
Well, it's a very experienced roster. There's a lot of 5th-year and 6th-year seniors. There's a lot of 4th-year seniors, too. I mean, you just saw on the field how many people were lined up on the sidelines there. I mean, it's a very experienced group. I expect a very well-composed, very hungry Siena Heights group. And the reason why I say that is, you take a look at the Concordia game, okay? It is tough to lose a home game the way they did, up 16-0 to 2 backup quarterbacks because their quarterback was hurt. Now you are going up against a gunslinger. This guy can really sling that rock around, and the secondary is something we're going to have to look at. I think we're going to take a look at some different schemes. I think you're going to see a lot of cover 3, cover 2, some cover 4, cover 6. You're going to have to mix it up. You're going to have to bring some blitzes when you need to. They need to be timely, and they're going to have to get home. Offensively, how is Miner going to be able to go through his progressions against this defense? He did it pretty well against Lawrence Tech, who was currently 2-5. But how is he going to do it here against the number 5 ranked team in the country? The running game is going to have to be good. We know the O-line and D-line are really good. So it's going to come down to a lot of the skill position players for both teams, in particular for Siena Heights today.
Yeah. It's senior day here in Siena Heights. The team is prepared to take the field. We prepare for what very well could be a historic game, Michael. As we talked about in the introduction, Indiana is the top 5 team, and Siena has never defeated the top 5 team. This is the 7th time that they will host a top 5 team here at this stadium. They are 0-6 so far. And against Indiana is a relatively new football program. Started only back in, I believe, 2016. This is only the 5th time that these two teams will play each other. The current record is 2-2, with Siena having won the first one, and these teams, this matchup, they have a history of playing close games, Michael.
They do. It's going to come down to turnovers at the end of the day. I mean, you look at the Concordia game, lost a turnover margin. They lose the turnover margin in a lot of their losses. They're a really good team. They have, as I said, a lot of skill position players, and they are going to have to not keep this clean. Cannot be turning the ball over, have to force a couple today if they're going to really want to have a real shot to win this game. And look at Ryan Miner here, 5 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. So he's going to have to really keep it clean as well.
We talk about that ball-hawking secondary for Indiana. A couple players to focus on in that secondary. Donovan Shelton, the roaming free safety, number 0. You'll see him flying all over the field today. He has 6 interceptions on the year. For comparison, the entire Siena Heights defense has 2.
Yeah, that is absolutely incredible, Josh. They are ball-hawking secondary. We talked about this. And really, you really can't be throwing it toward Donovan Shelton. And the other guy you got to take a look at is the left corner, Justin Johnson. He has 3 interceptions, as well as Ruby Lane, who also has 3 interceptions. And even when they bring the blitz, you take a look at strong safety, Jameis Carson, who has a sack and a half on the season. So they're going to throw a million different looks and curveballs here that Miner's going to have to be able to audible out and call some plays. And Coach Cohn and Coach Bull are going to have to have a good day game planning too. I'm sure they will. They've always seem to have some good plans. It's just all going to come down, as I said, turnovers. So it's just going to have to be one of those games where they have to keep doing it and keep it clean and stay disciplined. They have a very experienced group, and there's no reason why they can't come out here and have a chance to win today's game. Last year they were tied at 14.5. Indiana Weslyan pulled a little bit away at the end, but that was on the road. They're coming to the O'Laughlin Stadium. They're coming to the Siena House today. So Siena's going to have to really feed off the crowd. That looks like there's a very good crowd here today, and they're going to have to go out there and make things happen.
Yeah. One thing that the Siena Heights defense has definitely done very well so far this season is get to the quarterback. Vincent Walker and Joseph Wharton, the two defensive ends, both have 6 sacks on the year. And you cannot let Xavier Rhodes-Stokes get comfortable back there. Bringing that pressure, getting pressure with 3-4 guys is going to be a big key in this game.
Josh, you could not have said it better because Joseph Wharton is a former Division. I'm gonna list you some of these players out here. Joseph Wharton was a former Division II player at Saginaw Valley State University. He has 6 sacks on the season. Oh, not to mention that middle linebacker Cole Merlin is being scouted by the NFL, actually. And he has a fumble and 5.5 sacks from the middle linebacker position. Vincent Walker is a big senior. Who has 6 sacks. And they have linebacker Zach Kaiser's had a pretty good year. Andrew McGoffey, he's been very experienced at the linebacker position as well. And it's really going to come down to that secondary because the secondary, not that they're a bad secondary at all, but that's probably the weakest part of this defense.
They're going to get tested today.
They have freshmen, sophomores, and only one junior and a senior. So it's going to come down to that secondary today. How are they going to hold up against receivers and Xander Stokes? But you also mentioned that they're going to have to bring pressure too. So it's going to be called complementary football and defense.
Yeah, true that. It's important we mentioned Cole Merlin, the reigning Defensive Player of the Year in the conference. He comes into the game averaging 11.9 tackles per game, good for 5th in the nation.
That is absolutely incredible, Josh. He is a 5th-year senior that decided to come back, play for the Saints. He could have actually been possibly gone, with the NFL last year, but with the 5th year, that COVID year, that actually hurt the Saints a little bit because they had COVID troubles and didn't really get a chance to finish their season. He was able to come back for his 5th year, and as a result, he has been electric. And scouts from the NFL should be watching him, and I think they've been at some of these games too. So this will be a big day. If you can do this against Indiana Wesleyan, he's going to have a good shot in the future.
It's a beautiful day for football as we get ready for kickoff and the coin toss. We will be back in a moment. Don't go anywhere. You are watching the Siena Heights Sports Network.
All across the country, people are coming together to speed up what we can learn about health. The All of Us Research Program is calling on 1 million people to join us as we try to change the future of health. For your family, for future generations, for all of us. Visit joinallofus.org and find out how you can become 1 in a million.
Not always easy to see.
D-E-P-R.
Mental illness doesn't show up on a scale.
Bipolar?
Sorting out a mental health concern takes professional diagnosis and treatment.
Anxiety. I thought so.
If you or a loved one has a mental health concern, don't go it alone. For 24-hour free and confidential information and treatment referral, call 1-800-662-HELP. Learn more at samhsa.gov/support.
Hope. Where are you hiding? I search for you in the seconds, the minutes of each and every day. Hear me as I call out to you. Take my hand. Lift me up as I lift up others. Welcome me home, Father, Mother, Sister, Brother, Son, Daughter. Hear us now. Alone we stood, divided we fell. No longer. Now we choose to make the connection. Our new mission lies within. Visit maketheconnection.net to learn.
I'm with 2018 lacrosse national champion Christian Gaudy for the FDA's Don't Get Burned Sunscreen Challenge.
Bring it, Daryl.
She's tough, but I won't get burned today. I'm using a broad spectrum sunscreen.
The FDA recommends broad-spectrum sunscreens with an SPF of 15 or higher with other sun protection measures to reduce the risk of sunburn and skin cancer.
You smoked me, Kristen.
That's because I use sunscreen so I wouldn't get burned by you and the sun.
Broad spectrum sunscreen. It's a winning play every time.
Hi, I'm EJ Williams. Each year, millions of animals are abandoned, and more than 1 million are euthanized before they can be rescued. Organizations like American Humane are working to harness the healing power of the human-animal bond, as animals can be trained as life-saving service and therapy dogs to help veterans, the elderly, and children with special needs to overcome the obstacles of everyday life. To find out how you can help give animals and the people they help a new leash on life, please.
I'm with 2018 lacrosse national champion Christian Gaudy for the FDA's Don't Get Burned Sunscreen Challenge.
Bring it, Daryl.
She's tough, but I won't get burned today. I'm using a broad spectrum sunscreen.
The FDA recommends broad-spectrum sunscreens with an SPF of 15 or higher with other sun protection measures to reduce the risk of sunburn and skin cancer.
You smoked me, Kristen.
That's because I use sunscreen so I wouldn't get burned by you and the sun.
Broad spectrum sunscreen. It's a winning play every time.
Welcome back to O'Laughlin Stadium. Indiana has won the coin toss. They have deferred. Siena will receive the ball. They will receive on the south end of the end zone, moving right to left as we are viewing. And Siena coming off of that big win against Lawrence Tech last week. And a big player in that game, Michael, was Eric Williams.
Absolutely. Eric Williams is a transfer from Grand Valley State University. He is obviously a big-time football player, especially at this level. On the season, he has 14 yards per reception, 3 touchdowns, 60 yards per game, and then he's been thrown to about 30 times. So look for him today to really get this offense going.
Indiana back to kick it off. Back deep to receive for the Saints. Out to the 20-yard line and hit there. And stopped right at the 20-yard line. That was the kick returner, Justin Johnson.
Great kickoff coverage right there by Indiana Wesleyan. Great kickoff, obviously, and then not really much of a return from the 2-yard line. Only about like a 17-yard return. So not great field position for the Saints, but an opportunity right here to really punch them in the mouth right here on this drive.
Yes. Of course, that was Ethan Collins doing the kickoff duties for Indiana. He handles the punting, place kicking, and kickoff specialities for Indiana. Definitely a good kicker of the ball. Siena comes out on the first play of the game in the shotgun. Motion left to right. That's Eric Williams. Snap. They'll give on the left side, back to the line of scrimmage, and no more. That was Caleb Jefferson on the carry.
Expect a lot of that today. Seeing Eric Williams or another receiver, sometimes you'll maybe see Opalewski out there, number 14, in motion. They're going to want to try and trick this defense, see if they're running man or zone. So you're going to be seeing a lot of those motions to get some good reads for Ryan Miner here, who needs to get these reads today.
It's important to get comfortable early. Back in the shotgun. 2 receivers to the right. There's the motion again. Takes the snap. Back to throw. Looks, steps up in the pocket. Got time, pressured, hit, and he is going to be sacked. Back at the 17-yard line. Had time initially, but the rush able to get home.
That is just tremendous coverage by Indiana Wesleyan. They showed a 2-deep drop, and then one safety dropped in and hooked what they call the hook curl concept, and it was actually a cover 1 or actually cover 3 because they were in zone, and that really confused Miner. It really hurt his progressions, and as a result, you're looking at a 3rd down and 12.
Yeah, you do not have a lot of time. Indiana, they cover well, but they also get to the pass rusher. Here's a 3rd down. Motion from Williams again. Takes the snap. Back to throw. Pressure coming in his face. Steps up. Gets it away, and it's batted away. Coverage on the play by number 5, the linebacker, Donovan Backus.
It is really crazy how they are getting a lot of pressure here. That time they were in a nickel set, and they have no problem just rushing forward right now. So that was a tough time for the Siena Heights offensive line. Now they just got to regroup and make a couple adjustments and try and give Miner a couple more seconds, and get these receivers open as well. That can be really explosive at times.
not the start the Saints were hoping for. A 3-and-out on the opening drive. Andrew Bookman back to punt. He's standing at his own 1-yard line.
Got 2 returners deep for Indiana Wesleyan. Very kind of a little bit of a different look that we see here in the NAIA.
There's a snap, fair catch. Pulled in. He did not make a fair catch, but tackled right away at the 43-yard line.
Still tremendous kickoff coverage, though, by the Saints. So I was a little bit surprised they didn't call a fair catch, too. I thought they would.
He looked like he was trying to, but did not get it. So now we get to see the Siena Heights defense on the field. This is the strength of this team. Despite the rise of the offense in recent weeks, we know that this defense is formidable, and they're going to need to be elite here today. Don't be surprised if you see Indiana get to the line quickly on a lot of these plays. In the shotgun, the quarterback, Alexander Stokes, will give number 14, Darren Williams, to the left side, powering forward for a short game out to the 46-yard line.
Right there, the Saints brought the nickel 2-4-5. That set looked very familiar. Bring everybody to the line of scrimmage. Kind of like a run blitz, and it really worked right there. So that was only a 3-yard gain, and now we'll see what's going to go on next here.
Indiana does not run the ball a ton, but Williams, who we just saw on that play, does average 5.3 yards per carry, a healthy average here. Another tight set. Here's the snap. Pitch it forward on the right side, out past the 40, powering by to the 50, and out to the 49-yard line of Siena.
That was great recognition by that defense. That is very instinctive because they did a tremendous job of eyeing that down. And as a result, look, it's 3rd and 2, but it's a gain of 5. But usually those plays are trying to be explosive. So it's 3rd and 2 with a great D-line. But I will say this for the Siena Heights defense. They're going to have to try and eliminate these 3rd and 2 where all the playbook is wide open for Indiana Wesleyan. That is something they are going to have to avoid.
Big play here on 3rd down. Stokes in the pistol. Motioning to the right. Standing in the set, takes the snap. They're going to give it up the middle, powering forward and fighting for the first down yardage. A gain of 3 on the play.
That is going to be good enough for a first down there, Josh. Josh, right there, the Saints were in a 4-3. They brought the run blitz. Sometimes the run blitz is a gamble, and if you don't have the guys that can get them home behind the backfield, usually they can slither right through there and pick up the first down, and that is exactly what they did right there.
First down for Indiana. Now from Siena's 46-yard line. Staying in the shotgun, trips receivers to the right side. Takes the snap. Play action, back to throw, pressure coming, rolling out to his left, looking for somebody to throw to. Now he's going to run and get out of bounds out of the 40-yard line. And there we see not only is Stokes a good passer, but he's got some legs on him as well.
That is tremendous instincts by Stokes there. You had Joseph Wharton, who we talked about before the game, has 6 sacks, and he just outran him and knew he was going to come because that's all he really does is just give pressure to the quarterback relentlessly. And that is just great instincts because that turns possibly a 5-yard sack into a 6-yard gain. You're looking at 2nd and 4. Once again here, Josh, the playbook looking open there for Indiana Wesleyan.
True. Motion crossed. Takes the snap. Going to give on the left side, that's Darren Weems, forward to the 37-yard line.
Yeah, and that was a great, again, run there by Weems. Now it's going to be 3rd, and it appears to be 3rd and 1. Here we go again. As I said, Josh, 3rd and short. Playbook's wide open.
It's another big play, a very, very important opportunity on this opening drive to get this Indiana team off the field.
It's interesting here, Josh. They are in the nickel here. So I'm wondering.
Yeah, Indiana under center, showing run. Takes the snap. They're going to give up the middle, and it's going to pick up the first down easily, powering out to the 30-yard line. And like you said, Michael, kind of an interesting decision.
Very interesting decision for the Saints, too, because they're in the nickel. When you're in the nickel, you do not have the proper outside linebacker containment. You don't have enough big bodies to stop the run. Obviously, it's very tough, but it is generally easy for the defense to go on that 4-2 look, or for the offense to execute on that 4-2 look with the way Indiana Wesleyan runs the ball. So very interesting look. I wonder if they were just not – they were looking for a pass there.
Stokes in the shotgun. Gets the snap. They're going to give to the right side and bouncing up, and good coverage that time.
Absolutely great
Brought
coverage.
down and right at the line of scrimmage.
They were in the 4-3 right there. They moved McGoffey back into the left side linebacker position. So that was a big-time play and no gain. So that was a great play by the defense.
And that's what they're going to have to do today. You know Indiana is very explosive in the passing game. You have to commit men to that. You're going to have to be able to stop the run with only 4 to 5 or maybe 6 guys in the box. Indiana coming in. Second down from the 30-yard line here on their opening drive of the game. Stokes, motion across the formation, takes a snap, drop back to throw, looks, guns it out to the right side, caught by the running back Williams, out past the 20 and powering down out of bounds at the 16, 17-yard line. That's something they don't do a lot. They don't throw to the running backs very often. That's only Daniel's 13th reception of the year.
That was a tremendous play design because Siena Heights loves being in the cover 3, cover 1 set. And what happens, Josh, when you try and run a cover 3? The sidelines tend to be open because there's a little bit of a soft spot there. They snuck the running back out there. The linebacker didn't see it. Neither did the safety. Well, nice wide open catch and run there for Indiana Wesleyan. They get the ball at the 17.
First down from the 17-yard line. Triple receivers to the left. Now they motion out. Here's a snap. You're going to flip it forward, and they're going to get out to the 20 and brought down at the 15.
Very well executed by the Siena Heights defense, only 2-yard gain. Once again, Joe Wharton really sniffing that play out and really just stopped them for only a 2-yard gain. And, you know, 2nd and 8, this is going to be big for the defense here. There's a big difference between field goals and touchdowns in these kinds of games.
The flip forward was to Jaquez Carter, Indiana's leading receiver on the year. Comes in with over 600 yards and 6 touchdowns. Indiana comes up in the shotgun again. You see that a lot today. Motion from Jaquez. Takes the snap. Play action. Looks, steps up. Going to gun towards the end zone, and it's overthrown.
That was also really good coverage for Siena Heights. They did a tremendous job. That was Armand Childs, the 5'11 senior from Warner Robins, Georgia. Look, he hasn't gotten a lot of fumbles, interceptions, or sacks, but, man, is he right there at the right time to break up a pass every now and then. As a result, 3rd and long, we talked about how important it is to make him 3rd and long and possibly hold him to a field goal right here. So here we go.
Third down of this drive. Stokes in the shotgun. 3 receivers to the left side. Trying to get Siena to jump. Checks with the sideline. Comes back in. Play clock at 2. Tries to get the snap off. And Indiana burns their first timeout of the half.
You know, Josh, Indiana Wesleyan looked very confused on that possession or on that play because there were a lot of late subs, a lot of confusion on their sideline. Very good for the Saints because obviously they're going to have to burn a timeout and really think about this one. They'll give the Saints an opportunity to really set up their defense as well.
Stokes, the amazing quarterback for Indiana, over 1,400 yards passing, 16 touchdowns, and has yet to throw an interception through the first 7 games of the year. Averaging 211 yards per game. He is on pace for an over 2,000-yard passing campaign.
That is incredible. I mean, he is a senior. He's obviously been there for a while, and that is a great accomplishment. That's why the Siena Heights defense is going to have a big 3rd and 8 right here.
Here we go. 3rd and 8. Stokes in the shotgun. Motion out to the left. Takes a snap. Drop back. 4-man rush. Guns it over the middle, and it's incomplete.
That is unbelievable coverage by the Saints. So what was happening there, Josh? Here's what happened. Saints called a cover 2 on that play, which means generally the open field, the middle of the field is wide open. 34, Cole Merlin sniffed that out and then forced Stokes to really have to thread a needle there. Threw it a little bit behind because Merlin was on the coverage. As a result, here's a field goal attempt.
It's a big stop early for Siena. They did not want to get down early in this game, holding them to 3 on the opening drive. The kicker for the Wildcats is Ethan Collins. Place it down, kick is up, and it is no good. Pushed it wide right. A big stop here for the Saints on the opening drive.
Well, Josh, that is huge because they didn't even get a point. They had great possession by Indiana Wesleyan, great calling, great execution up to that point, and all that work just for 0 points. So that is huge. Now this offense is going to have to start converting. They failed to do that in the Concordia game consistently, which allowed them back in the game. Now Indiana Wesleyan, who's number 5, is probably thinking, like, we can't keep these guys in the game. Now, as Siena Heights, you are going to have to be really good offensively.
Got to get something going. That is Ethan's 7th miss of the year. Kicking under 50%. You wonder if that'll come back to bite them later in this game. For more, let's go throw it down to Victoria Hyatt on the sideline.
So far, the score is still 0-0, but the Saints will not stop putting up a fight.
Siena with a run for no gain on the opening play of the possession.
All right, 2nd and 10 there. Nothing really there. It was a great stop there by the Indiana Wesleyan there. Now a 2-receiver look here.
Ryan takes a snap. Play action. Drop back to throw. Throws deep over the middle. Got a man out there, but couldn't get it to him.
Wow,
Looking for Michael Guyton. He was open, but Ryan just wasn't able to get enough on it. It'll be 3rd and long.
Yeah, that was a tough break right there because Indiana Wesleyan absolutely busted a coverage. Guyton was able to slide in there, get wide open, and Minor, unfortunately, just didn't have enough heat on it to get there.
Now 3rd and long for Siena. Still looking to get anything going offensively here early, with now 7 minutes left in the first quarter. Ryan, empty. Blitz comes, takes a snap, throws over the middle, and it's incomplete. Blitz right in his face, wasn't able to get it to Sam Kozian, the tight end.
Well, Josh, it is live by the blitz, die by the blitz. And my goodness, that was a great executed play a very well executed play by Indiana Wesleyan. And as a result, there's another 3 and out.
You bring the all-out pressure, you either get there or you don't, and they got there that time to force the incompletion and bring on punter Andrew Bookman for his 2nd punt of the day.
He has had a terrific season, Andrew Bookman.
This will be his 40th punt of the year, averaging just over 35 yards a punt. Gets this one away. Pushing the defender back all the way to the 40, turns around, running to the far side at the 30, turning it upfield at the 35 to the 40. And running out to the 45, still going out past the 50, and out to Siena's 45. And that is something that is a big thing that as we go on, special teams, sometimes it's irrelevant, but sometimes, like it's been so far today, it can be big.
That is a tremendous return right there. They're going to get great field position. That's just very well executed by Indiana Wesleyan. Got to give them credit for that. A lot of great downfield blocking there.
Indiana comes out for their 2nd offensive possession of the day, and they've had great field position so far. This one drive going to start from Siena's 42-yard line. Stokes under center. Takes a snap. Play action, drop back to throw, pressure in his face, and he's hit and sacked.
That is a unbelievable play by the Saints. So what happened there, Josh? They were in the 3-3-5. It was actually they were able to free up Antonio Simley's able to get to the quarterback. They brought a little bit of a blitz there, but that's just great pressure. And as we talked about, probably one of the top 5 defensive line in the NAIA, just really taking over. The Saints don't really have to blitz a lot there. In fact, they didn't even do it there. And it's just that they can really bring pressure in any different formation that they can.
As Antonio's 4th sack of the year, and it comes at a big time for Siena in their highest stake game of the year. Stokes back in the shotgun, takes the snap, quick throw out to the right side, caught and rallied down immediately after the catch. That's Markel Stevens on the reception. It'll bring up a 3rd and 6.
It's a great play by Indiana Wesleyan. They didn't try to get it all back at once. They just were like, all right, well, we just got to make it 3rd and manageable, and they certainly did. It's going to be, as you said, about a 3rd and 6. So secondary's got to tighten up here again. They're making a couple substitutions.
A little bit of confusion for Indiana.
Actually,
for Siena,
Saints, yes.
And they will have to call a timeout. what is a big 3rd down here? Still early in this game. The score still 0-0. We'll be back in a moment after this timeout. You are watching the Siena Heights Sports Network.
You said you call him Cole Merlin.
I know. I can't believe I said that. I know.
It's fine. They don't know that.
I know when you said, like, darn it.
It's okay. It's fine. We just got to try not to interrupt each other.
Right.
I might ask you at some point. You're talking a lot about, like, 3-4, 4-3, stuff like that. I might ask you to, at some point, if I get a chance, be like, hey, what do you mean by that?
Yeah.
Welcome back to O'Loughlin Stadium. The score still 0-0, but Indiana driving again with the ball in Saints territory. A 3rd and long here, Michael, on what is, again, an important 3rd down for the Saints defense.
Here's a nickel set here. It looks like they're staying a lot of guys up. Are they bring the blitz?
Stokes takes a snap. The blitz does come, and it's a pitch out to the right side. Good pursuit out there by the defense. Forces him out of bounds for a short gain, but great pursuit by that defense, forcing him to the outside for a short game to bring up another 4th down.
That is tremendous pursuit there. I mean, they're just so fast. I mean, you think he would be able to run around the defender. You would think they would be able to execute that, but I mean, Jaquez Carter, I mean, the defense is just too fast. They have a lot of fast linebackers, and as a result, just catch them down.
Jaquez Carter is not a slow man. He is a very good receiver, but unable to get there this time, as they will punt it away. A high punt. Fair catch is called for, and muffed on the 8-yard line, and Indiana recovers it.
That is a tough break. As I said, turnovers cannot happen, and unfortunately, there was just a mistake right there.
A very unfortunate turnover for Siena on special teams. As they swap out, we'll step aside. You're watching the Siena Heights Sports Network.
All across the country, people are coming together to speed up what we can learn about health. The All of Us Research Program is calling on 1 million people to join us as we try to change the future of health. For your family, for future generations, for all of us. Visit joinallofus.org and find out how you can become 1 in a million.
Not always easy to see.
D-E-P-R.
Mental illness doesn't show up on a scale.
Bipolar?
Sorting out a mental health concern takes professional diagnosis and treatment.
Anxiety. I thought so.
If you or a loved one has a mental health concern, don't go it alone. For 24-hour free and confidential information and treatment referral, call 1-800-662-HELP. Learn more at samhsa.gov/support.
Hope. Where are you hiding? I search for you in the seconds, the minutes of each and every day. Hear me as I call out to you. Take my hand. Lift me up as I lift up others. Welcome me home, father, mother, sister, brother, son, daughter. Hear us now. Alone we stood, divided we fell. No longer. Now we choose to make the connection. Our new mission lies within. Visit maketheconnection.net to learn.
I'm with 2018 lacrosse national champion Christian Gaudy for the FDA's Don't Get Burned Sunscreen Challenge.
Bring it, Daryl.
She's tough, but I won't get burned today. I'm using a broad spectrum sunscreen.
The FDA recommends broad spectrum sunscreens with an SPF of 15 or higher with other sun protection measures to reduce the risk of sunburn and skin cancer.
You smoked me, Kristen.
That's because I use sunscreen so I wouldn't get burned by you and the sun.
Broad spectrum sunscreen. It's a winning play every time.
Hi, I'm EJ Williams. Each year, millions of animals are abandoned, and more than 1 million are euthanized before they can be rescued. Organizations like American Humane are working to harness the healing power of the human-animal bond, as animals can be trained as life-saving service and therapy dogs to help veterans, the elderly, and children with special needs to overcome the obstacles of everyday life. To find out how you can help give animals and the people they help a new leash on life, please visit AmericanHumane.org.
Welcome back. as Indiana, after the muffed punt, comes out in a Wildcat set. It's number 7, Xavier Gordon in at quarterback. Takes the snap, play action, blown up in the backfield, and tackled down for no gain. They tried the Wildcat, Michael, and it did not fool anybody.
No, that's just great discipline right there by the Siena defense. All eyes are on the ball. They didn't get faked out. It's just eyes on the ball, great pursuit, and quickness right there.
Gordon does not come in the Wildcat a ton for this team, but it's not the first time that they've done that this year. Stokes back in there at quarterback. In the shotgun. Motion across the formation. Takes the snap. They're going to give up the middle and bouncing off tacklers and down to the 1-yard line.
That is just great blocking right there. That is what we call a hat-on-hat offense. And what that is, Josh, every lineman blocks one guy. They just overpowered that D-line, something that you really rarely ever see. But they took the gamble on it, and it paid off because they get the ball at the 1.
It's a big third down here. 3rd and goal from the 1. Williams in at running back. Behind Stokes. Stokes motions him in. Tight set, takes the snap, gives up the middle, and is blown up in the backfield.
Absolutely nowhere. That is a goal line stand right there. All the big bodies are right there, and that is just what we call a gap scheme. So that means, again, hat-on-hat for the defense. That is what we call a gap scheme right there, where every defensive man hits A gap, B gap, C gap. They just go right up the middle, follow their gap, called gap discipline. Absolutely nowhere. Let's see another field goal attempt here.
A big stop after the turnover for Siena. They hold Indiana to a turnover. He already missed once today. This will be a shorter attempt, about a 21-yarder. Take the snap, spot, kick is up, and it is good. Our first points of the ball game go to the visiting Indiana Weslyan Wildcats as they take a 3-0 lead over the hometown Siena Heights Saints.
The defense deserves a big thank you, and the reason why that is because they were able to make a tremendous stop. That is a tough position to be at, starting 1st and goal at the 9-yard line and you holding the 3 points. Man, that defense deserves to get their dinner bought today.
Very little damage done on the turnover. And now we'll get the Siena Heights offense back on the field, an offensive unit that has yet to get a first down in this game.
Yeah, that will need to get better.
The special teams has played a big role here already, Michael, between the missed field goal, the good return to set up the drive, then the muffed punt. It's an overlooked facet of the game, but very important, especially in games like this. Ethan Collins back out to kick off for Indiana. Back deep for Siena, Eric Williams. Calls for the fair catch. Makes it at the 2-yard line. The ball will come out to the 20-yard line, which is where Siena will take over. 3 minutes left in the first quarter. Indiana now leads 3-0. We'll see Ryan Miner come back on the field. There's a lot of talk about the quarterback between Ryan Miner and Hayden Lehman. They've kind of swapped out starting so far this season, but Ryan won the job last week, and he is the starter.
He looked very well last week.
Needs to get things going here in this big game. The ball is spotted at the 25. Ryan takes a snap, quick throw out to the right, caught by Eric Williams out to the 35-yard line.
Very good job, very good play called by Coach Cohn and Coach Bull, because all they did was just get him in a rhythm. You find a nice little spot hole in the secondary there on the first level, and you pick up a nice first down, and now you're in a rhythm here. So let's see how this offense can do if they can finish the drive.
Important to get that first completion, and that was a good one there to move the chains and get a drive started here. Miner motions the running back out, empty set, takes a snap. Another quick pass out there. It's called in by Caleb Jefferson, but for a loss on the play.
Yeah, that was a thrown a little bit behind them, but you got to give Indiana Wesleyan credit because they sniffed that one out that time. They weren't going to let another easy completion for first down happen. So you got to give credit for that. They spied that down the whole way. He's honestly probably better off not even catching that one.
Minor in the shotgun. They'll give it to Haman Benson, who's fighting forward for extra yardage out to the 38-yard line, but that'll bring up, again, a 3rd and long.
Well,
Siena having trouble staying ahead of the chains here.
Absolutely. What I was just about to say, Josh, is that the offensive line, the Indiana Wesleyan's defensive line is really having their number right now, and that is something that you do not want to see from this offense. That means that they're daring Ryan Minor to really be forcing him to use his arm to win this game. That is what it's looking like right now.
Minor in the shotgun. Indiana showing blitz. They drop back. Minor steps up in the pocket, pressured, and he's going to get sacked again.
I am telling you, this offensive line is is in trouble right now. That is something that is going to have to be fixed. They're probably going to have to call some more protections.
They bring Donovan Shelton, the ball-hawking safety, in on the blitz. That's his first sack of the year. And the Saints will have to punt again. Andrew Bookman back on the field. And you got to look out here. Indiana had the good return last time. Can't let that happen again. Here's the snap. Bring a little pressure. Gets it away cleanly. Driving the defender back all the way to the 30, and he's going to run him back to the 20 and get upfield to the 25, to the 30, and to the open field at the 40, to the 45. Turns it infield at the 50, out to the 40, and finally ridden down at Siena's 36-yard line. Another big return for this Indiana special teams unit. That time it was Justin Johnson on the return.
Yeah, that is another well-blocked play by Indiana Wesleyan. And here we go, defense again. I know you're tired, but they're going to be starting from your 35-yard line. So it's going to come down to, again, just staying tough with it for the defense, which is what they have been doing all year.
Offense struggling. The defense needs to hold strong here as we approach the end of the first quarter. Indiana with the ball spotted at Siena's 36-yard line. Stokes will come out on the shotgun with a triple receiver stacked to the right side. Motion across. They'll take the snap. They give up the middle to Weems as he fights his way forward to the 32-yard line for a short gain as the clock winds down here in the first quarter. And it will run out.
Just a tough run right there for Weems, and just as simple as it gets. Old school football right there. It's very well executed.
This is the end of the first quarter. The Saints offense struggling. The defense playing well to this point. Indiana leads 3-0. We'll step aside and be right back. You are watching Saints football on the Siena Heights Sports Network.
All across the country, people are coming together to speed up what we can learn about health. The All of Us research program is calling on 1 million people to join us as we try to change the future of health. For your family, for future generations, for all of us. Visit joinallofus.org and find out how you can become 1 in a million.
Not always easy to see.
D-E-P-R.
Mental illness doesn't show up on a scale.
Bipolar?
Sorting out a mental health concern takes professional diagnosis and treatment.
Anxiety. I thought so.
If you or a loved one has a mental health concern, don't go it alone. For 24-hour free and confidential information and treatment referral, call 1-800-662-HELP. Learn more at samhsa.gov/support.
Hope. Where are you hiding? I search for you in the seconds, the minutes of each and every day. Hear me as I call out to you. Take my hand. Lift me up as I lift up others. Welcome me home, father, mother, sister, brother, son, daughter. Hear us now. Alone we stood, divided we fell. No longer. Now we choose to make the connection. Our new mission lies within. Visit maketheconnection.net to learn.
I'm with 2018 lacrosse national champion Christian Gaudy for the FDA's Don't Get Burned Sunscreen Challenge.
Bring it, Daryl.
She's tough, but I won't get burned today. I'm using a broad spectrum sunscreen.
The FDA recommends broad-spectrum sunscreens with an SPF of 15 or higher with other sun protection measures to reduce the risk of sunburn and skin cancer.
You smoked me, Kristen.
That's because I use sunscreen so I wouldn't get burned by you and the sun.
Broad spectrum sunscreen. It's a winning play every time.
Hi, I'm EJ Williams. Each year, millions of animals are abandoned, and more than 1 million are euthanized before they can be rescued. Organizations like American Humane are working to harness the healing power of the human-animal bond, as animals can be trained as life-saving service and therapy dogs to help veterans, the elderly, and children with special needs to overcome the obstacles of everyday life. To find out how you can help give animals and the people they help a new leash on life, please visit AmericanHumane.org.
Welcome back to O'Loughlin Stadium. And Michael, we're talking a lot about the Saints defense here between running the 4-3 and the 3-4 style defenses. Can you kind of explain for our viewers a little bit kind of what that is?
Absolutely. So basically, Josh, what 4-3 is you have 4 defensive linemen and 3 linebackers, and then you have 4 defensive backs. And then the 3-4 is basically the opposite. So you have 3 down linemen, and then usually you'll have a stand-up linebacker to try and get some more athleticism on the field. So you'll have 4 linebackers. Maybe you stand a couple of them up or one up at the line of scrimmage. So there's a lot of different creative things you can do with that. Then I want to talk about another set here. They have what we call the 3-3-5. So that's a nickel set. So that means you have 3 down linemen, 3 linebackers, and you have 5 defensive backs. Generally, those are your pass. What you do to defend the pass. But even then, let me be honest here, Josh, they could probably run that against their run because they can stop the run with just a 6-man in the box. So that is something that they can definitely do. A little chain issue here at the stadium.
It appears that they've swapped out for a second set of chains. We await the start of the second quarter. Indiana leading 3-0. These teams have a history of playing close games, and this one so far has been that way. The Saints defense playing well, but they're going to need to get some complementary offense, like we talked about at the start, from their offense to put a drive together and let this defense breathe. They've been on the field for almost the entire first half. Stokes comes in the shotgun. Motions Quez across the formation. A pitch out to the left. Good penetration by the defense, but able to power forward out past the 30 and down to the 21. Again, that's Darnell Williams with the carry.
That is just a tough run. I mean, yards after contact. I mean, no kidding. He has 5.3 yards per carry. A lot of it just because he just is able to plow through his defender. He's just bigger, stronger. There's nothing you can do much about that there, Josh.
Indiana, so far in this game, seems to be making a pretty conscious effort to run the ball. Stokes in the shotgun. Motion. And they'll give to Williams again. And that time, a good play made by the reigning Defensive Player of the Year, Cole Merlin, in the middle of that defense.
Absolutely great instincts, and he was able to kind of sneak through the line of scrimmage and just get that tackle right there when he needed it. That is unbelievably instincts right there.
Indiana continues to lead this game 3-0 as we dip under a minute gone by here in the first quarter, or in the second quarter. Now Stokes back in the shotgun, motion again, takes the snap, back to throw. Pressure comes, he dumps it off to the right side and is blown up immediately. Good penetration there by number 1, Antonio Simley.
That was a great play right there. I mean, I think that was just a play that just was like a pretty weird design because Siena Heights was all over everything. And it just seemed like Stokes was like, here, let me toss it to you here real quick. And that did not matter because Simley sniffed that one out.
They'll bring up a 3rd and 12. Again, a big opportunity on a 3rd and long for this Saints defense to get off the field. Stokes in the shotgun. 3 receivers to the right side. Trying to get them off sides, and they will check with the sideline.
Here's
come
that
back in. Only 5 seconds left on the play clock.
Here's a 3-3-5 look again.
Here's a snap, and he stumbles at the line of scrimmage and tagged down. They tried to fool him with a run there to Williams. He stopped right away for a loss on the play to bring up 4th down, and Indiana will be forced to try another field goal.
So that, Josh, right there was a 3-3-5 there. That's their pass personnel. That's what they use. They have get some more speed on the field. Obviously, they try to run it, but obviously it didn't matter because he tripped. And I don't know if it would have mattered anyway because the front 3 really got off their blocks quickly.
Going for a field goal here. This will be a 42-yard attempt. Collins long on the year is 44. Snap, spot, kick on the way, and it is up, and it is good. Indiana connects on another field goal. They'll extend their lead out to 6-0 over Siena. But Siena hanging in there with what we consider to be a powerhouse coming in.
Absolutely, Josh. And one of the keys to the game is allowing just to hang in there. And for the Saints, look, for Indiana Wesleyan, it probably feels like you're up by 20 right now, which is a really dangerous spot for them. Because all that needs to happen is just one big play for the Saints, and the Saints are in the lead. I mean, so this could be could be the blessing and the curse. The curse is you can't ever answer, and then eventually Indiana Wesleyan pulls away, or you can hang in there, get a touchdown here, and you're at home, and you can really do something here. I mean, that defense has been the reason why they've been able to hang in here, and as a result, they are only down by 6. So the offense is going to come down to them as we kind of talked about coming into the game here, and really the story of the season here for the Saints.
One of the best defenses in the entire NIA, going up against one of the best teams in the nation. The number 5 ranked Indiana, coming off a big win last week against Marion. Collins, after making the field goal, is now out there to send the kick away. Run up, and the kick is fielded at the 5, and they're going to bring it back to the 15 and swallowed up there.
Special teams has been a big difference. I mean, Indiana Wesleyan has terrific kickoff coverage, and obviously Siena Heights has been giving up a lot of returns. So field position battle is, I mean, Indiana Wesleyan's crushing the Saints right now on that.
Absolutely. Really struggling to get the offense going, but it doesn't help when you're starting from your own 15. Siena will come back out on offense. Ryan Miner back in at quarterback. Amon Benson as well. Benson lines up to his left. Eric Williams motions in. Here's the snap. Play action. Back to throw. Got a man open and is batted around and incomplete. Just off the hands of Williams and nearly intercepted by Justin Johnson.
To be honest, that is not the best throw we've seen Ryan Miner make. It was well behind him. Williams just had to get a touch on it, or that was likely to be picked, even though it was almost picked there. So maybe just a little bit of nerves here for Miner right now. I mean, you would never hope that he would be looking over his shoulder at Hayden Lehman again. I mean, that's just not winning football for an offense.
Yeah. Miner back in the shotgun. Here's the snap. They're going to give it to Benson running on the left side, and really nothing there again. This defense flying around, stopping everything that the Saints are trying to do.
Right. This is that is not something that, as I said, the line of scrimmage is going to be key today. And right now, Indiana's winning it on kind of the their offensive end, but really on the defensive end. If they're able to penetrate like that, you don't have to blitz. You can sink everybody back in coverage. It's going to come down to Ryan Miner having to tightrope some throws there.
It's 3rd and long again. The Saints have 1 first down so far, trying to get a second, trying to get out the shadow of their end zone and not give the Indiana great field position again as pressure. And Minor's going to step up and run, and he is brought down at the 21-yard line. A good run from Minor, but the defense able to get there in time and prevent him from picking up the first down, and the Saints
that's
forced to punt again.
That's a really good timely blitz by Indiana Wesleyan. They brought a lot of guys here. They brought a lot of confusion. Guys, and Ryan Minor felt that pressure and just really felt like he had to take off and run. And then once again here, we have another 4th and 3. So a couple of guys standing at the 50 here. So Siena Heights better get their kick coverage ready. Bailey Jackson is in punt return.
Punt is up, and it is away. Carter fields it with a fair catch at his own 44-yard line, where Indiana will take over, leading 6-0 with 10 minutes and 24 seconds left to go in the first half. We'll step aside. You're watching Saints football on the Siena Heights Sports Network.
I'm with 2018 lacrosse national champion Christian Gaudy for the FDA's Don't Get Burned Sunscreen Challenge.
Bring it, Daryl.
She's tough, but I won't get burned today. I'm using a broad-spectrum sunscreen.
The FDA recommends broad-spectrum sunscreens with an SPF of 15 or higher with other sun protection measures to reduce the risk of sunburn and skin cancer.
You smoked me, Kristen.
That's because I use sunscreen, so I wouldn't get burned by you and the sun.
Broad-spectrum sunscreen. It's a winning play every time.
Indiana back on the field, leading 6-0. Stokes will take the snap and roll out to his right, being chased. Gets it out there, and a big hit laid on by number 5, Armand Childs, putting the pound on to Daniel Weems.
That was actually Andrew McGoy right there for the Saints, and he sniffed that play out, the linebacker position. He is a very athletic linebacker, once again a 5th-year senior on this team, and he just went out there and laid the hit. He sniffed that play from a mile away. That's called great instincts on experienced defense and experienced linebacker that he is.
They'll bring up a 3rd down and 5 for Indiana. No motion again. Really need to get some pressure here. Can't let Stokes get back there. Looks, fires deep down the right sideline, and it is incomplete. Excellent coverage out there. That time, it was Armand Stewart on the coverage.
That is, Josh, is what we call the no-fly zone, and that means that you can't get the ball out there against these very athletic corners who have really improved. And wanted me to tell you something I see on the Josh? Look at who's on the sideline right there. That's Hayden Lehman, number 1. So will he get into this game? That's going to be a question that I think is very interesting to see.
Lehman is on the sideline warming up. Ryan Minor has struggled so far as the punt is up and away. And it'll travel out of bounds. The Saints will get it back at about the 33-yard line. And coming onto the field is Hayden Lehman.
See if this gives a spark. You know what I like to talk about, as I'm not a big fan of, obviously you got to do what you got to do to win, but let me tell you, it's kind of hard because, Hayden Lehman's going to go in the game, and guess what? He's going to be looking over his shoulder at Ryan Minor. It's just going to be 2 quarterbacks looking over the other shoulders. So hopefully he can come in here and make a spark for the Saints.
But at the same time, these 2 quarterbacks do have slightly different playing styles, different abilities, and we'll see if this change
absolutely
mixes up the Indiana defense.
Hayden Lehman is built like Cam Newton. Actually, he was a big Cam Newton fan when Cam Newton was in his prime at Carolina.
Lehman takes the snap, a run up the middle. Will be stopped for no gain. That's Haman Benson on the carry. Back to the line of scrimmage. To bring up a 2nd and 9 again. And again, Michael, the Saints struggling to get yardage on 1st and 2nd down.
Here's another thing that's worth mentioning, Josh. If the offensive lineman can't block and the receivers are dropping balls and the quarterback's just throwing off his back foot, look, man, it's kind of hard to blame it on this quarterback situation right here. So the running game's going to have to be there. It's going to be called good offensive complementary football for any quarterback to succeed in this game for the Saints.
Lehman takes the snap. They'll give to Benson again, and this time able to power forward, really keeping his legs turning, but only a 2-yard gain will bring up, again, a 3rd and long.
Yep, not a good situation here. They're going to have to protect well. Lehman's going to have to throw it off a tightrope here. He's going to have to throw a diamond here in this really stout defense for Indiana Wesleyan for the Wildcats.
It'll be 3rd and 6 for Siena. Still looking to get really any kind of real spark on the offensive side of the ball. Now trailing 6-0 with 7.5 minutes left in the first half. Lehman in the shotgun. The defense spreading out. Here's a snap. Play action. Back to throw. Protected initially as he runs to the right side and will now toss it out of bounds. Had time initially, but the pressure got there. That was number 94, Isaac Abo.
Yeah, to be honest with you, Josh, it's just a broken play because the defense really sniffed it out. To be honest, I think Siena Heights got a little bit away with the hold. I'm surprised the ref didn't throw the flag there, but nonetheless, it probably would have been declined because you look on a 4th and 6. And once again here, Josh, unfortunately, another punt.
We've not had a penalty called yet in this first half. It's been clean football. As Andrew Bookman is back for his 4th punt of the day. Gets it away. It's a short punt. Travel out of bounds at the 33-yard line, and that is where Indiana Weslyan will take over. Still leading 6-0 with 7:13 to go in the first half. Indiana really is struggling to move the ball somewhat offensively here. The Saints defense has played well, but you cannot continue to have nothing on offense. This defense can only play for so long. Indiana back on the field from the 34-yard line. Motion, pop forward to Jaquez, out to the right, and brought down at the 34-yard line. For more, let's go down to the sidelines to Victoria Hyatt. Indiana lines up with 2nd and 9. Again, pre-snap motion. Stokes takes the snap, drop back. A quick comeback route on the far side. Caught at the 40 and stopped there immediately. That was number 7, Xavier Gordon.
Yep, that's just a good play for Indiana Wesleyan. Simple play design. Protect the linebackers a little bit who aren't as fast as the wideouts, and you're going to get yourself in a 3rd and 4 manageable situation. So another big play for the defense here in this game.
Another 3rd down. Indiana from their own 40-yard line. Carter motions across the formation. Stokes takes the snap. Blitz comes. Throws it out to the right to number 3, Markel, and he is tackled immediately by number 5 for Siena, Armand Childs, to bring another first down.
They're going to give him the first down. And what are you supposed to do on a blitz there, Josh? Throw something underneath and get around the blitzers, and that's exactly what they did. So I know the defense is very fast, but it's very hard to do it, even for those defensive backs to get back on track and make the stop right there, first down. That's live and die by the blitz, but right there, great, very well executed by Indiana Wesleyan.
Tight set on the left side. Motion for Stokes, who takes the snap. Give up the middle, a small hole, as he is tackled after a gain of 2.
Very good run stop by the Saints there. Really did a good job of just, once I said, gap discipline right there. Big boys, I mean, they can basically run anything they want schematically for the Saints. For Indiana Wesleyan, they're going to have to be a little bit more creative in the run game here if they're going to want to consistently get this ball moving down the field.
Big run stoppers in the middle. Number 90, Jacob Letterman, and number 7, George Talley, both standing over 6'4" in the middle of that defensive line. Stokes under center, takes a snap, play action, rolls out to his right, pressure, gets away from a man, throws a strike out to Jaquez out of bounds, but there's a flag.
It looks like it's going to come back for a hold there, Josh, the way the ref threw it. Looked like there was a little bit of some tugging going on. Yep, looks like it'd be holding on Indiana Wesleyan, so you're going to back that one up.
Our first penalty of the ball game.
Offense, number 49, 10-yard penalty for the previous spot. Repeat 2nd down.
10-yard penalty. Bring up Now a 2nd and 17 for Indiana, who still leads 6-0 with 4 minutes and 40 seconds left in the first half. Split backfield for Stokes. Calls for it. Gets the snap, drop back, dumps it off to the right on a screen pass, and gets away from one defender and out to the 40-yard line. That was Cole Merlin in there. Initially, he got away from him, but slowed him down enough that the rest of the defense rallied and stopped him for a short gain.
So, Josh, we talk about how, Siena Heights has to avoid 3rd and long. So does Indiana Wesleyan, too, because it's just really just a dead at that. You're just basically dead at that point because Indiana Wesleyan doesn't really have the personnel to go up against Siena Heights' personnel to really execute a first down like this. We'll see here. Definitely going to have to see the play, but it's tough to do.
Both these defenses are very talented. Stokes takes the snap, drops back, pressure comes. He steps up and is going to run to the 40 and slide down at the 43.
That is just tremendous coverage. They guard everybody one-on-one there on a 3rd and long, and they are so athletic. It doesn't really matter what they put out personnel-wise. I think right there looked like it appeared that they ran in a 4-3, and it didn't matter just because the linebackers are so athletic that they can keep up with these receivers. And I said, Josh, it's hard to really execute that kind of play in a 3rd and long situation against the Saints.
Another good stop from the Saints defense, forcing another punt. This is a beauty of a punt, pushing all the way back inside the 10 field and run out. Gets out to past almost to the 15. Tackled at the 14-yard line. But again, the Saints will start backed up in their own territory. With 3 minutes to go in the first half, Indiana continues to lead 6-0.
Saints will have the ball 1st and 10 on the 14-yard line.
Coming onto the field for Siena, Hayden Lehman still in at quarterback. He lines up in the shotgun with Caleb Jefferson to his left. Lehman looks over the defense. Checks with the offensive line. Continuing to motion, 10 seconds on the play clock. Motion, takes a snap. Give to Caleb Jefferson up the middle, and powering forward for a short gain. Out to about the 15-yard line. Jefferson comes into the game averaging 4.5 yards per carry.
About a 1-yard scamper there. Again, Caleb Jefferson having a great season, but man, it's just tough for this defensive line, really just getting right through once again. This is, talk about a 1950s defensive slugfest going on here right now.
Lehman back in the shotgun. Takes a snap, he's back to throw. Pressure in his face, and he's hit, and the ball comes out, and it's on the ground, and it's recovered by Indiana. There is a flag down, but Indiana able to get on it for their 2nd takeaway of the game, something that for the Saints, playing a good team, you cannot be giving the ball away.
As we talked about in the pregame there, Josh, it's looking like Josh is going to be a holding. Or, sorry, no foul right there. But once again, the offensive line, in particular the tackles, just failed to – the tackles have actually played pretty well. A lot of it's been on the interior, but just that play, the tackles just got beat right there, especially at left.
And again, this defense is going to be asked to keep this game within striking distance for Siena. Indiana comes in from the 10-yard line, 1st and goal. Both of Siena's turnovers have come within the 10-yard line.
Yeah. Another 1st and goal situation.
Defense is going to have to stand tall. Stokes in the shotgun. Motion, snap, given blown up in the backfield. Excellent play there by number 4, Vincent Walker, getting into the backfield.
Yeah, that is just a great play there by Vincent Walker. As I said, it's going to come down to Xander Stokes here, too. I know Siena Heights' offense is really giving him some advantages offensively, but Xander Stokes, he's been playing really well this season against D1 Valpo. I know Siena Heights' defense is something else, but Stokes is really going to have to start using it with his arm, too, or you're going to see another field goal here.
Stokes back in the shotgun. And they motion at the line of scrimmage.
Could have been a false start here. I mean, they blew the play dead. Usually they continue to play on, but we'll see here. I know we've seen in the NFL a little bit how they've blown the play dead to protect the quarterback, but
Stokes has a very sharp cadence. You have to really watch that ball on the line of scrimmage. He'll be trying to get him to jump all afternoon. The Siena Heights defense has to be gassed. They've been on the field almost the entire first half.
absolutely. Oh, it is offsides. It is an offsides penalty here, guys. And they blew the play dead. Okay. But, yeah, I mean, this defense has to be gassed. As I said, Josh, earlier in the game when Indiana Wesleyan, or the defense was allowing them just to hang around, there's two ways it can go here. It can be a blessing, or where the offense can get maybe in some rhythm, or a curse if the defense gets too tired and the offense just continues to kind of sputter a bit.
It will now be 2nd and goal from the 8-yard line. This defense has played well today, but this is a tough task. Minute 30 to go here in the first half. Stokes takes the snap, drop back, looks, pumps, gonna run. Now he throws out there, and it is caught in the end zone.
That is a tremendous play by Xander Stokes. He faked everybody out, and he just threw it. He looked a lot like Josh Allen or Patrick Mahomes right there. Great discipline, went through his progressions. That's what an experienced athletic quarterback like Xander Stokes does. And as a result, it's a 12-0 lead here. So Indiana Wesleyan starting to look pretty good, especially offensively. It was a big play. As I said, Stokes had to do a really good job with his arm, and right there, he did that.
A big touchdown off of the turnover for Indiana. They come out for the extra point. Ethan Collins. Spot kick is up, and it is good. Indiana takes a 13-0 lead over the Saints of Siena. With a minute 20 to go, Siena will get the ball back before halftime, and we will step aside for a moment. You are watching the Siena Heights Football on Siena Heights Sports Network.
Jose works on a farm. Safety is important. His boss calls 811 to determine where it's okay to dig. This protects Jose from hitting an underground line and from serious injury. Because Jose can't tell exactly where or how deep the lines are, he doesn't dig until 811 tells him it's safe. The most important thing is that Jose works safe and goes home to his family. For more information, visit farmsafe811.org. A message from the Pipeline Operators for Ag Safety Campaign.
Welcome back to O'Loughlin Stadium. It's a beautiful day for football here in Adrian, Michigan, as the hometown Siena Heights Saints on Senior Day here at O'Loughlin Stadium trail the visiting Indiana Wesleyan Wildcats 13-0 in the first half. Indiana back to kick off with only a minute 20 to go here in the first half. The Saints have really struggled to get anything going on offense. They're going to need to try to get something here to stem the bleeding. Fair catch is called for and made from the 11-yard line. And we will see Hayden Lehman back for his third possession of the day.
That is correct.
Made the quarterback change about halfway through the second quarter. And so far, it hasn't seemed to make any kind of difference here, Michael.
No, it has not. I mean, it's been just a tough sledding all day for the offense so far. They're going to have to get into the air going. Running the ball, I understand you got to do it. You got to control the line of scrimmage. But at some point, you got to realize that it's not working. I know the offensive line's played all season, but either you got to change the scheme up a bit, blocking-wise, or you're going to start slinging it.
Besides the one short pass earlier in the game, Siena has yet to convert a first down. Really struggling to run the ball as well. The quarterbacks, both of them, really struggling to get the ball out here and need to get some kind of run game going. Lehman in the shotgun, takes the snap, play action, back to throw, steps up in the pocket, jump pass is incomplete to Sam Colson. The score remains Indiana 13, Siena nothing, with a minute 18 to go here in the first half.
Here we go again. This is going to be a big wideout. Hayden Lehman's going to have to do something here. Going to be interesting with the run if they decide to run the ball, what they do here as well. I mean, they have the nickel out here. So
only a minute 18 left in the half. They will run the ball up the middle in a big hole. Bouncing outside for Caleb Jefferson out to the 40. And finally tackled down at the 43. And maybe that's the spark that the Saints need, Michael.
Well, Josh, you know what happened there is that they ran the nickel out there for Indiana Wesleyan. What that is, it's a 4-2. You have 2 linebackers. So if Caleb Jefferson's able to get past that first level, which is the defensive line or the offensive line, then he's able to juke out one of the linebackers because no one's there to stop him. As a result, he's able to pop off for a big first down gain.
Lehman back in the shotgun. He'll take the snap, play action, good protection. All day, he'll go deep down the field, and it's intercepted.
That is just a terrible decision there. The guy was spying the ball the whole way and really just basically threw it right to him.
Intercepted by James Carson, his first pick of the year. And they are going to help him off the field. He appears to have been injured on that play, but the third turnover of the first half for Siena.
It did not really seem like Lehman went through his progressions there at all. It seemed like he just really wanted to go after the big play. The offense really needed to try to get a spark, and forced into coverage there is tough to do against especially this Indiana Wesleyan defense. Probably just had a misread right there on the defense.
This defense is as good a ball hacking secondary as they come. That's their league leading 17th interception of the year. Now Stokes with a chance to get more points here in the first half as he'll take the snap and give up the middle with a decent hole out to the 30-yard line.
About a 5-yard scamper there. And the 3-3-5, as I said, you're in the nickel. It's going to be a little bit easier to run on there. And I'm just going to assume they're just going to try and take it to the half here and take the 13-0 lead.
Why would you not? With the way that the Wildcat defense has played, they've completely controlled this game. With only 20 seconds left here in the first half. You might get one more play. And they're going to line up for a kneel down formation. 8 seconds left. 5 on the play clock. We'll take the snap, kneel it down, and that will be the end of the first half. The visiting number 5 ranked Indiana Wildcats will take a 13-0 lead over Siena into the break. We'll step aside and be right back. Here you are watching Siena Heights football on the Siena Heights Sports Network.
All across the country, people are coming together to speed up what we can learn about health. The All of Us Research Program is calling on 1 million people to join us as we try to change the future of health. For your family, for future generations, for all of us. Visit joinallofus.org and find out how you can become 1 in a million.
Not always easy to see.
D-E-P-R.
Mental illness doesn't show up on a scale.
Bipolar?
Sorting out a mental health concern takes professional diagnosis and treatment.
Anxiety. I thought so.
If you or a loved one has a mental health concern, don't go it alone. For 24-hour free and confidential information and treatment referral, call 1-800-662-HELP. Learn more at samhsa.gov/support.
Hope. Where are you hiding? I search for you in the seconds, the minutes of each and every day. Hear me as I call out to you. Take my hand. Lift me up as I lift up others. Welcome me home, Father, Mother, Sister, Brother, Son, Daughter. Hear us now. Alone we stood, divided we fell. No longer. Now we choose to make the connection. Our new mission lies within. Visit maketheconnection.net to learn.
I'm with 2018 lacrosse national champion Christian Gaudy for the FDA's Don't Get Burned Sunscreen Challenge.
Bring it, Daryl.
She's tough, but I won't get burned today. I'm using a broad-spectrum sunscreen.
The FDA recommends broad-spectrum sunscreens with an SPF of 15 or higher with other sun protection measures to reduce the risk of sunburn and skin cancer.
You smoked me, Kristen.
That's because I use sunscreen so I wouldn't get burned by you and the sun.
Broad-spectrum sunscreen. It's a winning play every time.
Hi, I'm Adrian Williams. Each year, millions of animals are abandoned, and more than 1 million are euthanized before they can be rescued. Organizations like American Humane are working to harness the healing power of the human-animal bond, as animals can be trained as life-saving service and therapy dogs to help veterans, the elderly, and children with special needs to overcome the obstacles of everyday life. To find out how you can help give animals and the people they help a new leash on life, please visit AmericanHumane.com.
We've reached the halftime here at Siena Heights. Trails the visiting Indiana Wesleyan Wildcats 13-0. Well, Michael, it's been a tough first half for the Saints. What's got to turn around?
Well, it's going to be all on the offense here, Josh, because the defense is doing its part. They're starting to get gassed. This halftime should help them regroup. Offensively, quarterbacks are going to have to play a lot better. They're going to have to be a lot smarter. They're going to have to stop turning it over. Offensive line's going to have to play a lot better. Coaching-wise, they're going to have to scheme it up a lot better, especially on the offensive front. They're going to have to scheme some guys open. We haven't heard at all from Eric Williams, and he is a big-time athlete that is either not getting open or not getting schemed open. So something's going to have to happen here from both the coaching and the execution from the offensive end.
Really a big difference in this first half so far has been those 3 turnovers committed by the Saints. 2 of those turnovers came within the 10-yard line.
I want to talk about special teams, too, because special teams has been, Indiana Wesleyan is crushing them on the field position game, the kick returns, the lack thereof on Siena's part. So special teams is something that's going to have to be big in this game, too, and kind of a low-scoring game right here as well.
Yes. We're also joined here on the sideline by our sideline reporter, Victoria Hyatt.
So, Victoria, what have you seen so far?
See, I've noticed that even though they may be behind in the score, but they just haven't gotten discouraged, and they just keep doing their best no matter what.
Absolutely there. Great analysis there from Victoria.
Yeah, it's important here. You know, you're down, but you're not out yet.
Absolutely not.
It's important to try to stay in this game. Well, that's all here for the halftime. We'll be back in a few. You're watching Siena Heights football, the Siena Heights Sports Network.
All across the country, people are coming together to speed up what we can learn about health. The All of Us research program is calling on 1 million people to join us as we try to change the future of health. For your family, for future generations, for all of us. Visit joinallofus.org and find out how you can become 1 in a million.
Not always easy to see.
D-E-P-R.
Mental illness doesn't show up on a scale.
Bipolar?
Sorting out a mental health concern takes professional diagnosis and treatment.
Anxiety. I thought so.
If you or a loved one has a mental health concern, don't go it alone. For 24-hour free and confidential information and treatment referral, call 1-800-662-HELP. Learn more at samhsa.gov/support.
Hope. Where are you hiding? I search for you in the seconds, the minutes of each and every day. Hear me as I call out to you. Take my hand. Lift me up as I lift up others. Welcome me home, Father, Mother, Sister, Brother, Son, Daughter. Hear us now. Alone we stood, divided we fell. No longer. Now we choose to make the connection. Our new mission lies within. Visit maketheconnection.net to learn.
I'm with 2018 lacrosse national champion Christian Gaudy for the FDA's Don't Get Burned Sunscreen Challenge.
Bring it, Daryl.
She's tough, but I won't get burned today. I'm using a broad spectrum sunscreen.
The FDA recommends broad spectrum sunscreens with an SPF of 15 or higher with other sun protection measures to reduce the risk of sunburn and skin cancer.
You smoked me, Kristen.
That's because I use sunscreen so I wouldn't get burned by you and the sun.
Broad spectrum sunscreen. It's a winning play every time.
Hi, I'm Adrian Williams. Each year, millions of animals are abandoned, and more than 1 million are euthanized before they can be rescued. Organizations like American Humane are working to harness the healing power of the human-animal bond, as animals can be trained as life-saving service and therapy dogs to help veterans, the elderly, and children with special needs to overcome the obstacles of everyday life. To find out how you can help give animals and the people they help a new leash on life, please visit AmericanHumane.com.
Welcome back to O'Laughlin Field in the campus of Siena Heights University. A short kick here, fielded with a fair catch by one of the up men out at the 35-yard line. And as the Indiana Wildcats retake the field, with their lead standing at 13-0, with 15 minutes left to play here as we start the third quarter. Michael, it's been a defensively dominated first half, with the difference really being those turnovers.
Absolutely. I mean, 24 yards of offense for Siena Heights, not going to get it done, but for defense, it's been very good. About 92 yards of offense for Indiana Wesleyan here. So here we go, back in the possession here with the defense on the field for the Saints.
Stokes takes a snap, gives to the right side, tripped up. High flying tackle there on the far side by number 5, Armand Childs.
Great tackle right there. Kind of a what we call obviously a halfback sweep to the right, and Childs was able to kind of prevent a big gain from there.
Big key in that first half. Time of possession, all over 2-1 in favor of Indiana. Stokes in a shotgun, pitch out to the left side, juking men out past the 40, now to the 42-yard line.
The reason why that gained any positive yards there, Josh, was looking at number 8 for Indiana Wesleyan. That was Jaquez Carter, who had a great kick-out block out on number 15 for the Saints. And there was a defensive back there. 15 for the Saints
Shamar
is
Eskin.
Yeah, so he got blocked right there and just really couldn't make a play. So here we go as a result, 3rd and 3.
Another third down for Indiana. Converting 3 of 9 in that first half. They take the snap. Quick pass out to the right. Hit, and he comes down with the ball.
He got crushed right there by 2. The linebacker and the safety kind of coming down and chasing the slant route, and he got crushed there and was able to still hold on to that. Wow, that's a great throw by Stokes, and even a better grab right there.
Catch by Markel Stevens Peppers.
Absolute great catch there by Stevens Peppers.
Good receiver out of Dayton, Ohio. 5'11", 185, a junior on the team. Stokes takes a snap. They'll run it to the left. Good penetration as he turns it upfield and gets back to the initial line of scrimmage.
Cole Merlin right there in the center of things again. He was right there to get great pursue and didn't allow who that would have been.
Daniel Williams.
Yep, Daniel Williams. So that was a great job there from Greenville, Indiana, who's had a great season. So basically averages about 4 yards per carry, but the Saints have done a great job at preventing that.
Stokes back in the shotgun. They'll check with the sideline. Stokes in the shotgun, takes a snap back to throw. Blitz comes, pressure in his face as he's hit, and the ball goes straight to the turf. One of the first times we've seen Stokes really get laid out today. Pressure there put on by...
That was a great call by the defensive coordinator for the Saints. He brought an all-out blitz. Stokes didn't realize it. Next thing you know, he just had to throw it away, and it was batted down at the line of scrimmage. Looked like it appeared to be Santango Reynolds, who was the one who was part of that deflection.
Another big third down here on the opening drive of the second half. Indiana leading 13-0. Stokes in the shotgun, 3 receivers to the right side, takes a snap, drop back, Pressure comes, and he throws over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Great defense right there. Looked like Drew McGoy was out on the coverage, out on who would that would have been? Number 8 for Indiana Wesleyan.
Jaquez Carter.
Yep, Jaquez Carter again. But McGoy did a great job of covering right there. Allowed nothing. And then the defense brought enough pressure with the 3-3-5 look again with their pass personnel package out on the field.
Another big stop from the Siena Heights defense to bring up another punt for Ethan Collins. Standing from his own 31. I'll take the snap. Punt it. Another beautiful punt, driving him back inside the 5 from the goal line. He'll run it back to the 20, out to the 5, and brought down there.
I'm surprised he fielded the ball there, Josh, to be honest with you. I mean, it seemed like he could have really gone in the end zone. You weren't going to get much on the return. Once again, you are just backed up right there inside the 10 to start your drive. That's not something you want for the Saints, especially with the struggling offense right now.
They'll put the ball down at the 7-yard line. So, again, just terrible starting field position. Like you said, Michael, really another special teams mistake. Hayden Lehman still in at quarterback. Took over for Ryan Miner midway through the second quarter. I'll give it off to Haman Benson, who is rumbling out to the 14-yard line, and they'll throw a flag after the play was over.
Looks like you can add 15 to that one there, Josh. It appears that the Siena Heights sideline is celebrating for that one. Coach Cohn thought there should have been a flag, and they threw it. So it looks like there's a possible face mask, but the officials are discussing it here. It looks like hard to see from this angle, but looks like there's a possible face mask from what I see from signal from the sideline.
Indiana still leading 13-0 with 12 minutes to go.
Dead ball, personal foul, defense, number 5.
It's an unsportsmanlike conduct or something. Well, Josh, that is how you keep a team in the game that that seems like you're fending off the whole game. And just stupid penalties like that, that's a big break for the Saints. Even though Benson had a great run right there, nice little 4-yard scamper, that is huge for the Saints.
Only the third penalty of the ball game. It's been a
very clean game.
Pretty clean game to this point. Now, Lehman trying to get some life into this offense. Motion across the formation. Lehman takes a snap, rolls out to the right, looks to throw, fires it out there, and it's intercepted. Intercepted back to the 20 and pushed out of bounds. It's the roaming free safety, Donovan Shelton, who got under it and runs it back inside the 15.
See, this is just a tough one for the defense, or for the offense, because it just seems like Lehman's not really getting a clean read on these defenses. He's just really just throwing it wherever he feels, where he thinks it's open, because he is not seeing these guys break to the ball. And it's just, I mean, Ryan Miner was not making these mistakes early in the game. It was just really just a struggling offense. I mean, I'm really wanting to know, what's going on here with the offensive side of the ball and their decision to change quarterbacks here.
Donovan Shelton, his 7th interception of the year, 18th for the team. They lead the nation in interceptions. Gets another one here to set them up with excellent field position inside the red zone. Stokes on the field, takes a snap. A little bit of a counter run out to the right side, getting through the line of scrimmage and out to the 10.
Adrian Williams is just a very big back, 5.3 yards per carry. We talked about how he does a really good job of yards after contact. He's from Lake Placid, Florida. It's just tough to bring him down against a tired defense now. And I want to point out something to you, Josh. Look at who's throwing right now. Number 7, Justin McCown. He started for the Saints 2 years ago in the home opener against Concordia, and he is warming up on the sidelines, Josh. I wonder if we're going to see him trot onto the field at all this game.
Observation, Michael. On the field, Stokes takes the snap, give up the middle, met at the line of scrimmage, and able to push his way forward for a short gain. Adrian Williams again, having himself a decent game.
He's having a pretty solid game, especially against this front. I'd say it's a really good game against this front here, Josh. Yeah, Justin McCown is warming up on that sideline. It's looking like he could get some action, as we saw with Lehman when he got into the game. And, I mean, from what his teammates say, I mean, McCown actually has a really good arm. He's had a really good arm. So it's going to be interesting to see what he can do, especially schematically. Because if you throw in another quarterback in the game, sometimes it's tougher for the defense because schematically you haven't seen him on film and what his tendencies are.
Under center, Stokes runs a sneak, and they push the pile forward for a gain of 5. It'll make it 1st and goal for Indiana. And this Saints defense, as tired as they are, they're going to be asked to try to make another stand here inside the 5-yard line.
Right. Here we go, 1st and goal. It's a tired defense, so we'll see here. Ball on the 4. Stop here would be huge, even a field goal. Because if they kick a field goal, I mean, we saw in the Concordia game here, Josh, 16 points is 2 possessions in today's football. So a field goal would be huge to keep it within the 2 possessions.
Here they come out in the Wildcat again. Xavier Gordon takes the snap, pitches it forward to Jaquez, bobbles the ball, but gets it back and is able to get out to the 10-yard line and then knocked out of bounds.
Great pursuit defense right there. I mean, the defense has not been fooled by that stuff and trickery stuff all game for Indiana Wesleyan. So give Siena Heights credit. So, I mean, that's gonna lose some yards. It was about like 5 yards, I would say, because it was at the 4 or yeah, because now the ball's on the 7. So that's a big play. 2nd and goal from the 7. That makes it 2nd and long now.
Joseph Wharton ran him out of bounds. The 6'2" junior of Homond, Indiana. Stokes back in the shotgun. Motion from the tight end. Another motion. Now they take the snap. They'll fake it forward and give it to the right side to Williams, who powers his way forward inside the 5. And they're going to mark him down at about the 4. But that'll bring up a 3rd and goal. And this is a massive play in this game.
It is here. I mean, 3rd and 4. I mean, defense, could they just get one other stop? I know the offense is possibly be asking for much here, but defense needs to continue to hold the fort down, keep it within 16 points in 2 possessions so the offense can continue to hopefully try to improve this game.
Big play here. 3rd and goal. Stokes in the pistol, takes the snap, fakes, looks, throws back of the end zone, and it's incomplete.
Great coverage there. That was essentially just a throwaway. There were 3 yellow shirts right there, and that secondary just shut him down. And looking like, assuming he makes this field goal, you're still in a 2-possession game here.
Stokes' pass, incomplete, and right now they are showing that they will go for it.
Oh.
Xander Stokes is still on the field with the offense. Still checking with the sideline.
Josh, this would be a monster stop if they can get it.
It looks like they're going to go for this. This is 4th and goal, leading 13-0. Here's your play of the game so far. Stokes in the shotgun. They're just going to try to get him to jump off sides.
There is a flag on the floor. Oh, delay a game. Yep. Okay, there you go.
Just tried to get him to jump off sides.
Which is a very smart decision.
Don't get it now. They'll bring out the field goal unit. Try to extend this lead.
One thing I do got to give the Saints credit, and I think this has a great testament to their culture here, guys. Look at the sideline. I mean, they are still energetic, still animated, and it's just been a tough sled for some of these guys today. I mean, got to give credit to the Saints here. That's how you're going to come back into this game, having a great attitude and just really chipping it back one play at a time, and that is what they're going to appearing to do here on the sidelines.
Morale has not dropped at all as the kick is up, and it is good. Indiana extends their lead to 16-0 with 8 minutes and 27 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. And again, we see this Saints defense holding Indiana to a field goal after a turnover inside the 20-yard line.
Absolutely great stop there by the defense. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see what quarterback trots out there. As we saw Justin McCown working a bit on the sideline. Justin McCown, as his teammates say, has a crazy arm. Not a lot of experience. He started 2 years ago in a 10-7 loss against Concordia. But that's, again, 2 years ago. So definitely a fresh body out there for the quarterbacks. I mean, this room does seem to have some depth. Obviously, they've struggled a bit at times. But it's not like this game can't be over.
Has not seen action so far this season. On the sideline, it looks like Lehman is still in position to come back
Right.
in. As Michael said, we saw number 7, Justin Clown,
Yes.
warming up earlier, but does not appear that he is coming in on this possession. The Indiana Wildcats looking to kick off, leading this game 16-0. It's still a 2-possession game, but it feels much worse than that.
Exactly. I mean, they are this is probably one of the closer 16-0 games I've seen in a while, to be honest with you.
Kick, fielded with a fair catch. They'll come out to the 25-yard line. And that is where the Saints will take over. Lehman ready to come back out. The first half, Michael, was really a struggle for the Saints offense. Only 24 yards. Struggling really to get anything going, pass or run. Back out there now, Lehman in the shotgun. Takes a snap, gives the left side. And dragged down by out there is Caleb Jefferson.
Yeah, he's a great running back right there. The offensive line, I mean, just give credit to Indiana Wesleyan's defensive line for really just sniffing that play out once again. I mean, the run plays just have not been there. I mean, it's just really hard. Got to be tough for play caller, Coach Bowl, and got to be tough for Coach Cohn here as well.
Siena takes a snap. Another run. This time it's Lehman, and actually he'll toss it out there to Michael Guyton, who is whipped down at the 40-yard line, and they'll throw a flag.
It's looking like it'd be a horse collar right here. That is a tremendous play. Actually, a really good play by Hayden Lehman. He did a really good job of just getting it out there to the freshman Michael Guyton. He sniffed that play out, and as a result, the chains are moved with a penalty.
Michael Guyton, the 6'3", 200-pound freshman. As you called it, Michael, a horse collar tackle is called on Indiana. A 15-yard penalty. And that's 2 personal fouls on Indiana so far in this half. And the Saints, with that penalty, will move into Wildcat territory for the first time today.
About time, right? So let's see if the Saints can get it in the end zone.
A little bit of life being put into this offense right now. Lehman in the shotgun. Looks, takes a snap, gives to the right side, powering forward to the 40, and out to the 38-yard line.
Well,
Caleb Jefferson again, starting to get a little bit of room on this run game.
Yes, Josh, once again, they're in the 4-2 nickel here for Indiana Wesleyan, and then Caleb Jefferson, the 5th year, just able to plow right through there.
A big man. 6'1", 210-pound senior. Over 500 yards rushing on the season in this game. Lehman takes the snap. They'll give it again up the middle. This time he's going to be stacked up right at the line of scrimmage. Just no holes opening up there for Jefferson that time. They'll bring up a 3rd and 4. And you're looking at it here, Michael. Could this be 4-down territory?
Oh, absolutely, Josh. With 6:38 left to go in the third quarter and it's 16-0 Indiana Wesleyan, I'm definitely thinking about it. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if they do a little conservative run here and try, if they don't get that first down, make it like 4th and 1 and 4th and 2 and see what the offensive line can do. I don't expect them to go big with the big play here, Josh, but they're probably going to do something small and at least try and get themselves in position to move the chains, whether it's on 3rd or 4th down.
Indiana, Lehman in the shotgun. Takes the snap, play action, back to throw, pressure in his face, is going to go for it all, to the end zone, Michael Guyton, incomplete. Almost, and really a fantastic throw from Hayden Lehman. Michael Guyton had a shot at it, but was unable to pull
They
it
did
in.
exactly what I did not think that they were going to do, but Lehman threw it on a tightrope, but Guyton just dropped it. Hayden Lehman threw a beautiful ball, and it just did not come down. Guyton just did not come down with the catch. Now, as I said, Josh, you're going to be in 4th down territory. This is, I don't want to say it's the ball game, but is a big part is if Siena's going to come back and win this thing.
Siena scrambling a little bit here. Trying to figure out who to get on the field here for what is a 4th and 4. 4 seconds left on the play clock. Lehman will snap it, looks to throw. Pressure in his face, a good block. Still looking, goes for it all to the goal line, and it is caught! Touchdown, Saints!
Unbelievable job by Hayden Lehman. The protection wasn't really there, and he just did a heck of a job of getting out there, throwing it, and sadly he took a big hit because he is hurt right now. But that was unbelievable job by Hayden Lehman. He deserves all the credit in the world. Went through his progressions, was patient, used his arm strength that he has, and touchdown. Oh, it looks like Justin McCown could come in this game, guys. Look at that.
McCown is
number 7
coming on the field. Lehman still down, being attended to by the trainers. Touchdown caught by Bobby Apolowaski. His first touchdown of the year.
Apolluski, guy who plays a lot, gets open, is right there, and he did a heck of a job just staying with it and came down with a great grab, really almost in double coverage. Didn't lose focus, and that was a great grab by Apolluski. And unfortunately, you do not want to see this for Lehman. He's starting to get with the rhythm, and unfortunately, he is just took a unfortunate, nasty hit right there.
Lehman is still down as they attend to him. We will step aside. You're watching Siena Heights football on the Siena Heights Sports Network.
Unused prescription opioid pain medicines can spell risk if they're taken by someone they weren't prescribed for, or harm if accidentally taken by a child or a pet. Safely dispose of opioids before they can hurt your family. Find a drug take-back option such as medicine drop-off boxes. If there isn't one available, check the FDA's flush list. If your medicine isn't on the flush list, you can dispose of it in the trash. Get information to keep your family safe.
The score is now 6-16. We just scored an awesome touchdown. And one thing I noticed about this team is the awesome tackles and throws that we've gotten.
Saints lining up in a power set.
Looks like it's a Wildcat. If number 5's Caleb Jefferson, he fumbled the ball.
Jefferson fumbles the ball, and he'll pick it up, run to the outside, and he's gonna just get shoved out of bounds. Unfortunate.
Going to be honest here, I don't know what the point of that was. I think that they should have tried to get the quarterback in. I mean, if you had a Wildcat design, then I guess do it. But what I would suggest, I mean, I guess like I'm not going to say I'm the coach, but what I would suggest is you probably just stick to what works. And if that wasn't in the cards in the first place, you probably wouldn't have done it.
You're wondering here with that Wildcat play, is Ryan Miner healthy? You know, he was pulled out early. We don't know what for. We're not sure if it was coach's decision. We've seen him running around on the sideline. He's currently down there.
McCown working out again, too, on the sideline as well.
Miner's currently down there talking with Lehman, with the trainers on the training table.
Teammates are hyping McCown up, too. Looks like he's going to go into the game here next. I'm surprised they didn't have him out for the 2-point conversion. I mean, in that 2-point conversion, you just can't be one-dimensional against Indiana Wesleyan's defense. You have to have a threat of a pass, unless Caleb had a threat to pass it. But that's just not something you can't have.
The Saints lining up to kick the ball. Trailing now 16-6 with 6 minutes left to go in the second quarter. Cabe Soki sends it away, a little booch kick to the sideline, and it's fielded at the 39-yard line. Kind of maybe an onside attempt.
That was definitely an onside kick. They've done it before at the end of the Concordia game. It's worked out a few times in their favor this year. But yeah, that's definitely the onside kick attempt. Just a little too much there.
Now, the Wildcat offense will come back with a 10-point lead from their own 39-yard line. Stokes in the shotgun. Receiver to his right. Motion from Carter again. Takes the snap. Going to give to Weems up the middle, and he's able to push forward for a gain of 2. Big drive here for the Saints defense.
Huge.
Your offense gets a little momentum. Now it's time to come back.
Absolutely huge drive here.
I mean, 2nd and 7. I mean, the defense definitely probably has some mojo back now since they did a really good job on the offensive end. So definitely some energy starting to come back. Not that they didn't have it, as I said earlier. They always had the mojo, but now it's really starting to come alive.
Stokes back in the shotgun. Motion from Carter again. Stands in, takes the snap. Back to throw. Pressure in his face as he's hit and gets it away to Weems, who makes the catch and is tackled down and loses the football for a moment.
Looks like he's down.
But they're going to rule that he was down.
Looks to be about a 3rd and 1, or did they give it to him? Yeah, it's going to be 3rd and 1. So defense is going to have to clamp up again on a 3rd and short. They've done it all day. Let's see if they can do it again. They definitely had some rest on the last possession.
3rd and 1. A big play again here for this Saints defense. A chance to get off the field and get that ball back to the Saints offense, though with a little confidence, but maybe a little bit damaged, trying to find a quarterback on the sideline. And here's Stokes, who will take the snap and give it up the middle and able to surge forward over the 50-yard line and pick up that first down.
That's all they needed was just a 1-yard gain, and all they had to do was just sneak him up the middle. The offensive line was just able to do enough, get enough blocks, and they got the first.
A big conversion for Indiana. Able to, even at this point, keep the clock rolling, as every second will come back with only 4 minutes left here in the 3rd quarter. Still lots of time left in this ball game. Stokes trying to get the play set up. They'll have to call a timeout. As they call a timeout, so will we. We'll step aside and be right back. You're watching Siena Heights football on the Siena Heights Sports Network.
Unused prescription opioid pain medicines can spell risk if they're taken by someone they weren't prescribed for, or harm if accidentally taken by a child or a pet. Safely dispose of opioids before they can hurt your family. Find a drug take-back option such as medicine drop-off boxes. If there isn't one available, check the FDA's flush list. If your medicine isn't on the flush list, you can dispose of it in the trash. Get information to keep your family safe.
Welcome back to O'Laughlin Stadium on the campus of Siena Heights University, where the hometown Saints here on Senior Day. The last home game of the season. Currently trail the number 5 ranked team in the nation, the visiting Indiana Weslyan Wildcats, 16-6. Indiana comes out from midfield, 1st and 10. Stokes in the shotgun. Takes the snap, play action, back to throw. Goes deep down the field, and it's incomplete, and then a flag comes out. Looking for Markel Stevens-Peppers out there. Coverage by number 15, Shamar Askin.
It's not going to be a PI, though. He did kind of tackle him before the ball came. It was a little bit questionable because it didn't really seem that catchable, but yeah, that's going to be 15 yards and a PI, which means pass interference on the defense.
Officials talking it over?
They are talking it over, though.
Making sure?
Pass interference, defense, number 15.
Yeah, this.
15-yard penalty for the previous spot, automatic first down.
Not something you want to have there.
It's not NFL rules. It's not a spot foul. It's a 15-yard penalty, but still, that'll move them down to the 35-yard line, and Indiana in scoring position yet again.
All he's got to do is really just turn his head around. If you turn your head around, track the ball, you should generally be in a good spot in terms of positioning and make the play. So here we go.
Stokes takes the snap, play action again, looks to throw, pressure in his face, and he's caught from behind.
Joe Wharton again right there, speed and power. You can't really stop him. I'm just surprised Indiana Wesleyan hasn't doubled him yet because Joe Wharton is just an absolute beast. As I said, he's from Hammond, Indiana. Went to Saginaw Valley State his freshman year. Now he is actually transferred to Siena Heights within the last 2 years, and he has just gotten better and better, and he is just a beast out there. I'm surprised they have not doubled at that side of the line because he's just in that backfield all day long.
A massive sack for Siena, pushing him back to now a 2nd and long. Stokes takes the snap, looks, dumps it off on the right side, and it's incomplete.
That was great play. Looked to appear to have been Vincent Walker, the defensive end, and you're forced to force him now to a 3rd and long. Perfect defense right here. Now just get off the field.
A great response to that pass interference penalty. Now can they get off the field? It's 3rd and 17 for Indiana.
Let's make some noise, Saints fans.
Chance here with any yardage. You might have a chance at a long field goal if you're Indiana. Stokes, the 6'1" senior, standing in the shotgun. Takes the snap, back to throw. He looks, steps up, guns it deep over the middle, and is caught by Carter out at the 20-yard line. First down, Indiana.
Just a soft zone coverage right there. Appeared they were in cover 2, which means, Josh, what happens in cover 2? Open the middle of the field becomes open. If you're not paying attention with the linebackers, keeping with the receivers to break the pass up, that's exactly that can happen. And as a result, you get a 1st and 10 for Xander Stokes.
Xander Stokes with an absolute dart through the center of the defense. Puts them with now a big conversion on that 3rd and 17. Here, it's 1st and 10 from the 21-yard line. Looking to get back into scoring position as they give it to Darnell Williams, and he's run down in the backfield.
Well, he was tracked down once again by the left linebacker, Andrew McGoy. He did an unbelievable job with pursuit. That was appeared to be, actually, it was Adrian Williams that broke the first tackle from Vincent Walker. Then McGoy came to clean it up and actually give him a bigger loss. So now it's 2nd and 15, loss of 5 there.
Again, Indiana behind the sticks. The 2nd time on this drive. Siena trying to get a stop, stay in this game. Currently trailing 16-6. Stokes takes a snap, throws it over the middle. What a catch! An absolute dart from Stokes to Markel Stevens, who's having himself a pretty good game here.
That was just a quick slant pattern, and they caught the defense napping a little bit, especially at the linebacker spot. It was just a little bit of a zip and go at the slant route, and now it's a 3rd and 1.
Wildcats will have the ball. 3rd and 1. Let's make some noise, Saints fans.
Stokes, huddle up. It's 3rd and 1. Again, another massive chance to get off the field. Carter motions over the QB sneak again. Let's run that once already, and
that's going to be really close there. That's going to be as close as it can get.
From where they're spotting it currently, it looks like it'll be a 1st down.
Yep, 1st down.
And it is. A 1st down will make it 1st and goal yet again. The Saints have stopped them 3 times inside the 10-yard line. Can they do it again here? A touchdown extends this lead out to 3 scores. A field goal keeps this game within reach. Here's a give to Weems on the left side, running over defenders down to the 5, and he appears to be in a little pain.
I mean, that is just great vision by Daniel Weems. He saw that the middle was going to get clogged like it was all day. Then he was able to bounce it on the outside, just beat Joe Wharton there out in the left end, and then, the right end, and then he was just able to stop it right there.
Weems comes off, holding his arm a little bit. We'll see if he returns. Darian Williams now comes in as a deep back behind Stokes. Will be up under center. Tight set. Motions Carter again. Takes the snap. Gives up the middle and fighting towards the goal line, but stopped 1 yard short. Grabbing him by the ankles there, Santonio Reynolds.
Defense is looking a little bit tired here. That's just a little bit shocking. So we're going to see if they can stop him here now.
The 3rd quarter ends. And we will switch sides, walk 99 yards, and the Indiana will have a 3rd and goal from the 1. We'll be back in a moment. You're watching Siena Heights football on the Siena Heights Sports Network.
Not always easy to see.
DEPR.
Mental illness doesn't show up on a scale.
Bipolar?
Sorting out a mental health concern takes professional diagnosis and treatment.
Anxiety. I thought so.
If you or a loved one has a mental health concern, don't go it alone. For 24-hour free and confidential information and treatment referral, call 1-800-662-HELP. Learn more at samhsa.gov/support.
Start of the fourth quarter here in O'Laughlin Stadium. Indiana leading Siena Heights 16-6 here. And they have a 3rd and goal from the 1. A crucial play here if the Saints want to try to stay in this game. Stokes under center, and there's motion. Motion on the line. Let's see the call. A defensive penalty here would be costly.
Prior to the snap, offside, defense, number 7.
It is
Half the distance to the goal, 3rd down.
a neutral zone infraction on
moving
the
it just a half a yard, but still, I mean, it's anything at this point. Because you're definitely giving them 4-down territory right here.
This penalty does not give them a 1st down. Here's a snap. Run up the middle to Williams, and he's caught and gets over the plane.
That is a big touchdown right there.
A touchdown for Adrian Williams, his 3rd of the year. Will extend this Wildcat lead to 22-6 as they are starting to pull away from the Siena Heights.
This will be tough if they make this extra point, because you're going to put Justin McCown, who hasn't played in a game in really 2 years, I believe, especially in these crucial spots, to really have to really sling it down the field now.
Looking on the sideline, it appears that Hayden Lehman is sitting on the bench getting work done on his right knee, it appears.
And they went for 2 on that play.
The 2-point conversion would try.
And it is still a 2-score game now.
It does. It keeps it a 2-score game.
I mean, I don't know what you're thinking if you're Indiana Wesleyan, because you kick the extra point, you're up 17. That's a 3-score game with a struggling offense. Now you give them some life back. I mean, wow, that is could be an incredible whoops at the end of the game if it comes down to that.
Indiana still leads by 16 here in the fourth quarter. The Saints experienced a little bit of life on the last drive, but it appears that they lost their quarterback, Hayden Lehman, who's now on the sideline. He's taken off his jersey. He has crutches. They've wrapped up his right knee. We'll see who comes in quarterback from this drive. As we said before, Ryan Miner started the game. He came out. He is still walking on the sideline, but we will see if he is going to come in or if it will be the starter from several years ago, Justin McCown, who has not seen action so far this year. The kick fielded with a fair catch out at the 12-yard line by number 2. I don't have. Eric Williams, excuse me. Saints defense. The Indiana defense has 2 interceptions in this game, which adds to their nation-leading 18 interceptions on the year. And they lead this game 22-6. In at quarterback is McCown. He'll take the snap, give left side to Hamon Benson out to the 30-yard line.
Nice little scamper there for Hamon Benson. Great blocking at the point of attack, and they just went hat on hat and got some good yards there. Definitely something you need to start on the drive with a positive if you're going to get Justin McCown and expect him to get you back in this game.
A solid carry by Benson. Now Caleb Jefferson comes back in. Justin McCown, the 6'4" sophomore from Sterling Heights, Michigan, has not seen action this season, but due to injuries, is in there at quarterback. He stands in the shotgun. He takes the snap, drop back, looks to throw. The pressure comes, and he's hit, and he's going to be sacked. That was number 94, Isaac Abayo.
The pocket just absolutely collapsed right there from the left side of the line to really right up the middle. They just really collapsed there. Didn't even really bring much pressure. Didn't even bring a blitz. They just got beat right there. And now you're in a 3rd and long. So 3rd and obvious, but there's only a couple of receivers out here, which is going to be really interesting what this call is.
As Isaac's 3rd sack of the ball game. As he now lines up, still on that line. Indiana showing blitz. Takes the snap, drop back, 4-man pressure, and he's hit, and spinning away is McCown, somehow staying on his feet, and finally wrapped up at the 27-yard line. Got away initially, but tackled down, and it'll bring up another 4th down, and it appears that Siena will be forced to punt again.
Just a tough possession right there. Really just the offensive line got beat there on all those possessions.
Tough to mount comebacks with a backup quarterback, but it has happened before. But time slowly ticking away for the Saints here. Takes the snap, punt is away. Another good punt. Back to the 30-yard line. Fair catch. Called for and made at the 27-yard line. Justin Johnson fields the punt, and the Wildcats will come back onto the field in a game that, despite the score being a 2-score game, feels almost like they've dominated, Michael.
Absolutely. I mean, it's just the defense is just it's almost like death by 1,000 cuts here. I mean, they've been able to slowly but surely claw their way offensively, and defensively it's just been 3-and-out turnovers, and it's just slowly but surely just getting away from Siena right now.
This defense has yet to force a turnover today. Could really use one here. Here's a snap. Pitch out to Williams on the left side. Gets around a man. Hurdles with another out to the 40-yard line. And taken down there. That's a 1st down on the 12-yard carry for Adrian Williams.
Absolutely just big day right there. He's had a big game as well for Adrian Williams. He's the 2nd string behind Daniel Weems. But, man, that is just a big-time 1-2 punch. Just tough for this defense to hold up when they've just been really tired all game long.
Indiana has controlled this game from start to finish. Now they hold a 16-point lead, 22-6. Just under 12 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. So here's a little toss forward to Jaquez Carter.
Looked like Indiana Wesleyan really got away with the hold there. It seemed like that Vincent Walker is right there about to make the tackle, and the offensive lineman just tugged on Walker's jersey to pull him back. A little bit surprised I didn't call that in that jet sweep motion there.
Overall, it's been a pretty clean game. Not very many penalties, but Indiana able to hang on to the ball, has yet to turn it over, and for Siena, those 4 turnovers, those are the difference in the game at this point.
Absolutely.
Approaching 11 minutes to go in the game. Stokes in the shotgun, takes the snap, give to the right side to Williams, and he's blown up in the backfield. Number 8, Antonio Reynolds.
Reynolds has had a great game today. He's been right there, made some big-time stops, made some big-time tackles. It's 3rd down right here. Still 11 minutes left to go, so defense has to get another big stop here.
Still time left in this game for the Saints to try to mount a comeback, but this is a key play if they're going to try and do that. Stokes in the shotgun, 3 receivers out to the right. Siena stacking that line. Here's a snap. It's a 4-man blitz. They throw it over the middle, and it's caught right at the sticks, and they're going to give him forward progress for the 1st down. That was Xavier Gordon. Caught it right at the lines. 1st down, Indiana.
Great. I mean, that's just a really big-time play. They just snuck him in the middle again on that cover 2 look, and you get the 1st down.
Another first down on third down for Indiana. They've had a lot of them.
Yep.
Saints have done their fair share of stops, but Indiana has converted their fair share as well. Now with a first down from midfield. Here's the snap blown up in the backfield.
Absolutely. That was Vincent Walker again.
Vincent Walker has been everywhere in this game.
Unbelievable.
Blows up that one for a loss of 5 to bring up 2nd and 15.
I mean, I got to give the defense credit because at this stage of the game, look, you have to be disciplined in these kinds of stages. When you're kind of tired, you're fatigued, you're not thinking right, your offense is kind of struggled, your team's not doing super hot, although there is time. You still have to be disciplined in these parts of the games. And let me tell you, Vincent Walker and these experienced veterans are certainly disciplined.
Stokes in the shotgun motion again. He'll look to throw. It's a screen out to Williams, who will get past the 50 to the 40. And they'll say that he stepped out of bounds back at the 47-yard line. So that'll leave it with a 3rd and medium for Indiana. And again, another 3rd down for the Siena Heights defense.
It is another 3rd down. It's about, we put up like 3rd and 6, and looks like they have to put that 3-3-5 package back in there, which is their pass personnel package. And you see how these defensive backs do. See the kind of pressure they can get with this 3-3-5 set.
Under 9 minutes to go in the game. Siena trailing the number 5 ranked team in the nation by 16. Looking for a big stop. Siena really stacking that line. Stokes in the shotgun, takes a snap. They drop back. Looks, goes for it all down the right sideline, and it's a diving attempt, but falls incomplete.
That is tremendous coverage. That is unbelievable coverage right there.
Number 10, Jalen Williams, the 5'11 junior from Muskegon, Michigan.
Yeah, that's a great play right there by him, and he just did a really good job. One-on-one coverage, that's not easy against these wideouts, and Xander Stokes can really throw it on the money. And right there, held their own right there, and your defense gets a big-time stop to keep the Saints in the game.
We'll throw it down to Victoria on the sideline. Victoria?
So, the score is now 6-22, but the energy out here on the field by our players is just immaculate. And our fans in the stands have just been so good at supporting our team.
The Saints field the punt down at their own 10-yard line. 8:30 left to go in this game. Again, Justin McCown is the quarterback. Ryan Meyer started the game, came out in the first quarter. Braden Lehman was injured on a touchdown pass in the third quarter. And McCown here just throws one out of bounds.
Right there, that's just a miscommunication right there. That was a miscommunication on the offensive end for looks to be number 8 on the Siena Heights roster, on the receiver. And that's just something that just happens sometimes when you have a new quarterback in the game.
McCown backed up. This is not his first action. This is his first action of the year. He played a couple years ago against Concordia. Now he stands in the shotgun and takes the snap. Give Caleb Jefferson around the right side, gets the edge, and gets out for a short gain to the 12-yard line.
Pretty good play right there by Caleb Jefferson. Ran around as fast as he could. Just that fast defense of Indiana Wesley was able to kind of catch up to him a bit.
Now, Michael Guyton, the 6'3", 200-pound freshman wide receiver, coming off the field. Appears to be limping slightly. Here's the third down with 8 minutes left to go in the game. McCown stands in the shotgun. Eric Williams in motion. Calls for it, gets it. Back to throw. Pressure in his face as he guns it over the middle, and it is under and
wow.
caught.
What a throw by Justin McCown. I mean, he threw a laser and a bullet. He read the defense like a book, and you're going to move the chains now with 7:40 left in the game in a 2-possession game. That is something you need to see from the Siena Heights offense. That's a spark that you're going to need, and that's the kind of plays that they're going to need to make to give this offense and the whole team faith that they can come back here and at least send this thing into overtime.
Jalen Garrett, the wide receiver freshman out of East Chicago, Indiana. On that reception, McCown takes the snap, give on the left side, able to slip through a small hole out to the 30-yard line. Another good carry.
Caleb Jefferson with a great carry right there, able to kind of plow through, get the 5 yards, get the tough yards right there as well.
The clock continues to run. Now we dip under 7 minutes to go in the ball game. Siena trailing by 16 with the ball at their own 30-yard line. Takes the snap. Play action. McCown back to throw. Throws it down the right sideline a little high.
Just a touch high, but he read the defense really well. They're in a cover 3 set, and then he knows that they got to go to the sideline. He had the guy open, just missed him a touch high.
Looking for Eric Williams out there. Unable to get it to him. It'll bring up a 3rd and 3 for Siena. Likely 4-down territory at this point. Down 16 with 6.5 minutes left to play. McCown in the shotgun. Sends a tight end in motion. Takes the snap. Back to throw. Pressure in his face as he throws, and incomplete.
Just missed him on a hair again. He's actually looking really comfortable in this pocket. McCown has done, I think, so far the best out of any quarterbacks, looking comfortable, not panicking, and just throwing it when he needs to. So unfortunately, it's 4th down there, but man, I'm a little surprised they aren't going for this one.
Sending out the punting unit here. Kind of interesting.
I know maybe you don't want to lose by that much, but man, you got to give yourselves a shot to win here. And I'm not saying you can't. I mean, things can happen, but seems like McCown was in a little bit of a rhythm there, and he could possibly get this thing.
Mr. Eric Williams, a little bit high on that one. Punt kind of skips to him. They do punt it. Field it at the 34 and run out of bounds at about the 40-yard line. So with 6:30 left to go in this football game, Indiana will take over from their own 40-yard line, leading Siena Heights 22-6.
Wildcats will have the ball 1st and 10 on the 39-yard line.
Stokes will come back out. He's played well so far today. Nothing spectacular, but has led this team, not turned the ball over, controlled the pace, has this team in a position to win this game. Here he'll take the snap and give to Williams on the left side, met the line of scrimmage, and able to stumble forward for a gain of 4 out to the 43-yard line. Make it
Just
2nd and 6.
Pretty good right there. I mean, it's just pretty clear that Indiana Wesleyan's going to try and just run this clock out now.
Stoppage here. Official timeout. We have an injured Saint on the play. Can't see who that is. He's down on the far side. That appears to be number 23, Kosi Goff, free safety.
Not a good look. They already have some injuries today. You have Jalen Williams that's out at number 10. He's the stud at this that really holds the fort down with this defense at defensive back. And now you got Kosi Goff. And then obviously we saw Hayden Lehman go down earlier, starting quarterback. So injuries haven't been very nice to the Saints today.
Goff on his feet, being helped off the field. As there are 6 minutes and 7 seconds left to go in the game. As Goff comes off, The Saints defense have had their moments today, Michael, but been out there for so long. The offense just struggling to put anything together.
It's just really tough for the defense. I mean, they've worked their butts off, and it's just really tough for the defense to be able to continue to go over and over again, getting yourself in tough spots, and you just got to give them credit. Got to give the offense some credit, too. I mean, they've hung in there, they've struggled today, and they're continuing to fight as well. Just look, this is just what you want to see against a top 5 team if you're going to, unfortunately, just not play your best game for the Saints.
Indiana carries the ball. It'll make it a 3rd and 3 for Indiana. Cole Merlin on the tackle. The 6'3", 235-pound senior, the reigning defensive player of the year in the conference. Indiana, if they're able to close this one out, will remain in first place in the conference. They take the snap, a pitch out to the left, good penetration there, and able to track him down.
Great play, great pursuit of the ball. That is Armad Childs. Again, we've said his name a lot today. He's the transfer from Kansas Wesleyan University from Byron, Georgia. And unfortunately, looks like there's a flag. It looks like it was a hold. I thought I saw a hold, but it looks like there's a possible another injury here on that Saints defense.
The flag comes down. The defense definitely tired, trying to catch their breath out there. That was 3rd down. If this penalty isn't against Siena, we'll likely be looking at a Indiana punt. The officials meet to discuss the penalty.
Dead ball, personal foul, offense, number 49.
Oh, man.
Dead ball, personal foul, defense, number 3. Those penalties offset. The down is 4th.
All right, so still get the 4th down.
Offsetting personal fouls. There, and Indiana will send out their punt unit.
Looks like that went Amir Stewart. Was at number 3 in the defense, right, for Siena?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's like Amir Stewart was the one that had that penalty.
Siena should get it back with okay field position here to try to mount this comeback. Punt is a high punt. Fair catch is called for and made at the 17-yard line. And Michael, when I'm saying good field position at your own 17, that's not good.
I mean, it really just summarizes the day, Josh, of how it went with special teams today, and really, honestly, how good Indiana Wesleyan has been.
Indiana has controlled this game throughout, taking 3-0 lead in the first quarter, and never look back.
Absolutely not. They have just been pedal to the metal all game long.
The Saints defense has played extremely well. They have multiple goal line stands to their name, but the offense unable to play that complementary football we started at the start. But still a little bit of time here for McCown as he steps up in the pocket and will dump it off to number 88, Michael Guyton.
Great job by McCown, just finding what's open and then just having him use your check down route and just get out and go. And they're going to have to continue to hustle. Still a 2-possession game, so it's not like they're ever been out of this, Josh. I mean, they are still right in it. Just a touchdown 2-point conversion, and we're talking different. We really are.
McCown in the shotgun. He has a big arm. Can really sling that ball. Takes a snap, drop back. Steps up again. Good protection. Guns it to the sideline, and it is...
Whoa! Eric Williams with the grab. I mean, Justin McCown threw it down a tightrope. And, Josh, as you just said and we talked about here, he has a big arm. You got to have a big arm to complete that. Even give Williams a position to make that grab. And now they are back across the 50.
Incredible coverage. Eric Williams just takes it away from the defender. Now this offense in business as we go under 4 minutes left to play. McCown, the backup quarterback, stands, takes the snap, play action, pressured, rolls out, Looks, dumps it off to Eric Williams, who spins away from one man, but is wrapped up.
Just a tough broken play right there. It didn't seem like the offense was really ready to really try and go out and execute the play. And McCown just had to roll out and just kind of go. He couldn't really look at Opalewski, number 14, down the sideline because the two deep safeties dropped back and covered too, so that safety to be able to break on the ball. And obviously, we know how the safeties can really intercept those balls. So good play by Justin McCown. Good decision. He looks a lot more calm than 2 years ago. He's a lot calmer than how he played 2 years ago in this a situation like this.
McCown steps back, pressure, and he's hit from the blind side.
These tackles are just getting destroyed today. I mean, that's just it's ready, set, hut, and you're on the ground. So, I mean, obviously they're going to have to probably call some max protection, especially against these blitzes here.
Never saw the defender coming. The loss. And before you even think about trying to get a touchdown here, Michael, well, we got to get first down.
Exactly. This is a big conversion. They're going to have to see. Guys are just going to have to get out and try and get open here. And looks like they're in the cover 3. So look to try and get this toward the sideline here, as they do.
Steps up, guns it to the sideline. It's almost intercepted.
Threw it behind. It's kind of a low trajectory there. It was a tough throw to make in the first place. On these obvious passing downs, it's just not easy for Justin McCown right now.
Almost a third interception. For
Looks like they're going to go for this one as well. 2.5 minutes he got to. This is the ball game right here.
They'll give it a try. 2.5 minutes left to go. 4th down and 17. Indiana converted a 3rd and 17 earlier in the game. Siena is going to have to do something here. McCown takes the snap. Blitz comes. Pressure in his face is thrown into the dirt.
It's just the blitz has been killing this O-line all game. And that looks to be the ball game for here.
Pass incomplete. A turnover on downs will give the ball back to the Indiana Wesleyan Wildcats as they will take over. With only 2:30 left to go in this game, they will look to run out the clock on the Siena Heights Saints. And this is a game that the scoreboard said it was close throughout, but Indiana got out in front early and really never looked back. Able to keep a rhythm, keep their offense on the field, convert some crucial 3rd downs at times, and now in a position with 2:30 left in this game to try to win it here. Here's a give to Williams on the left side, bounces off a tackle to the 40, to the 45, and slides down in bounds.
That's a smart play right there. I know the clock's going to stop for a second as the change gets set, but they're just trying to get out of here and protect this lead. I mean, obviously 22-60 offense has really struggled. You're bringing in a new quarterback after injury. A lot of adversity facing this defense as well with all those injuries, but Indiana Wesleyan has done a great job just taking care of their business today. They did what the number 5 team in the country has done, just go out there and take care of business, and this is definitely a team that can win it all. And got to give them credit in today's game.
Indiana under center. Motion across. They'll give it up the middle to Williams again. Met right at the line of scrimmage and pushed back. It's number 8, Antonio Reynolds, yet again.
Yes, he has been a monster today. Like, just beats the guys up front and then just goes out and makes it happen.
One thing you can say for sure, Michael, that if the Saints lose this game, which there's still a little time, but is looking quite likely, the defense is not to blame.
Absolutely
for this game
not.
today.
I mean, they have just been, especially that D-line. They played their hearts out like they do every game. It's definitely one of the top defenses in the NAI. It's just tough day for the offense once again. And, I mean, Indiana Wesleyan's got a great team, too. They're the number 5 team in the country, and there is a great reason, and they made it, and they are showing you why they have a chance to win the national championship today.
Timeout Siena with 1:40 left to go. Siena has their toughest games on the schedule coming up. Obviously this one. Then they travel to Marion
Marion's ranked too. They are I believe number
Marion
7.
Is the eighth
ranked team. Yep. So
in
they're
the
playing on the
nation.
road too. They never played on the road in program history. Never beaten Marion in program history. So actually, if they can just, obviously it looks like today is going to get away from them, but if they can find a way to get that Marion win on the road, Josh, they can very well make the playoffs and get a wild card. Then you got Taylor. Taylor is a school that Siena Heights has traditionally beaten every year. So they're going to have to win these next two to have a chance to make the playoffs. So, look, man, it's just a tough game today for the Saints, and go out and regroup, and you have a defense that can win championships, and now the offense, maybe if you can see something with McCown and get his stride going, you can maybe do a little something here at the end of the season and try and get a playoff push.
Williams?
Maybe either see Indiana Wesleyan or possibly Concordia if they can make it at the end of the season.
Anything can happen. Mod Childs with the tackle, bring up a 3rd down. Siena will use their second timeout with 1:24 left to go. Stokes, one of the premier quarterbacks in the conference, hasn't had to do anything special here today, but has controlled the ball, kept the offense moving, converted some big 3rd downs, and not turned the ball over. This is gonna be the big story coming out of this game is the 4 turnovers for Siena, and Indiana safe with the football, able to keep control of it. Of course, now at this point, any of the thoughts on that Siena sideline with quarterback Hayden Lehman?
Looks like he's really just kind of hobbling around. He was stretching right in front of the bench right there, as I saw a few moments ago. So just not really, unfortunately, what you want to see. And you hope he can get back. And if not, it's going to be an interesting battle to see next week and how the season ends, really, with Ryan Miner and Justin McCown.
A big carry there from running back Darren Williams. Converts a 1st down. And Indiana now will be able to run out the clock and get out of here with a win on senior day here in Siena Heights.
And it looks like they're just going to need it. And just got to give Indiana Wesleyan a ton of credit today. They've really worked hard at it. You can tell, as I said multiple times, they can definitely win it all. And Siena Heights, look, they got a couple games left. They still control their own destiny, likely to get into the playoffs. So just going to come down to one game at a time and finding a stride in your offense.
Indiana came in today, the 5th-ranked team in the nation, and they certainly looked like it today. As Stokes will take a knee, the clock will run out. On this ball game, the teams will meet at midfield. Say job well done, better done today by the Indiana Wildcats, as they will take the win 22-6.
Yes, for sure.
A big win for Indiana. We'll step aside. We'll be right back. You are watching Siena Heights football on Siena Heights Sports Network.
Hope. Where are you hiding? I search for you in the seconds, the minutes of each and every day. Hear me as I call out to you. Take my hand. Lift me up as I lift up others. Welcome me home, father, mother, sister, brother, son, daughter. Hear us now. Alone we stood, divided we fell. No longer. Now we choose to make the connection. Our new mission lies within. Visit maketheconnection.net to learn.
I'm with 2018 lacrosse national champion Christian Gaudy for the FDA's Don't Get Burned Sunscreen Challenge.
Bring it, Daryl.
She's tough, but I won't get burned today. I'm using a broad spectrum sunscreen.
The FDA recommends broad spectrum sunscreens with an SPF of 15 or higher with other sun protection measures to reduce the risk of sunburn and skin cancer.
You smoked me, Kristen.
That's because I use sunscreen so I wouldn't get burned by you and the sun.
Broad spectrum sunscreen. It's a winning play every time.
Welcome back to O'Loughlin Stadium here at Siena Heights, where Siena has just lost to the Indiana Wesleyan Wildcats. 22-6 is the final. And Michael, it's a game that the Saints on the scoreboard were in the whole time, but really it felt like it wasn't close.
Right, yeah. I mean, Indiana Wesleyan just totally dominated on both ends of the ball. I would say offensively, the defense really slowed them down for Siena. The problem is defensively, you just get tired after a while. And then offensively, look, there's a lot of quarterback carousel right now. I mean, Hayden Lehman gets hurt. Ryan Miner started the game, struggled obviously. Then Lehman struggled, but then obviously had that one dime he threw to Opalewski in that middle of the third quarter to really kind of keep him in the ball game a little bit. Obviously, we talk about Justin McCown. He did some good things, but he's just super young and raw. It's going to be interesting to see if Lehman's out, how long he will be out, and the quarterback battle coming up against Marion, which is not something you want to have going to a game like Marion. So you would hope that gets settled out in practice this week. Defense is still in top form, and the offense finally just starts getting something going. Because the turnovers, too, that's something else. And special teams, too. Special teams, I mean, it's just something that is undervalued in today's football, and obviously it was a big difference in field position today there, Josh.
Yeah, both field position, but also the turnovers and good returns. Indiana was able to keep out in front, both in field position, score, just about everything in this game.
Absolutely. And it's time to bring Victoria Hyatt in here. Victoria, what did you see in today's game overall now since the clocks have hit 0?
See, one thing I noticed was the team's ability to work together and their teamwork out on the field.
Absolutely. Great point there, Victoria. In fact, I told Josh up there in the press box that, I know they're down. It just didn't look good, but there was a lot of energy there on the sidelines today.
Yeah, never lost heart. We can definitely give that to them. But try and lose. Siena, they walk out here of senior day here at O'Loughlin Stadium. Not the way a lot of the seniors wanted to end their careers here, but definitely a good season so far. It's not over yet, and Siena will travel to Marion next week, a team ranked in the top of the nation. They'll try to get back on track, still fighting for a possible playoff spot.
Absolutely.
Well, that's all from O'Loughlin Stadium. Thank you all for watching this presentation of Siena Heights football.